welcome to my channel. It's me, Girl Nettles. Thank you guys for being here. We're gonna have another debate. Woo! I'm feeling so elated, elevated. I'm in a good mood. Today's debate is going to be Alicent versus Cersei. So you guys already know who I am. Let's not waste time. Here are our contestants. So I'm gonna let everyone introduce yourself, and we'll get started. First up, we have Yogi.
Hi. My name is Yogi. I am a Song of Ice and Fire enjoyer from southern Germany, and I once had a podcast about A Song of Ice and Fire that I haven't done anything with for a long time, but it still exists. It's called Through the Moon Door, and I had many great guests, so I would recommend checking it out. I'm here today to defend the Queen Alicent Hightower, misunderstood, bashed, undeservedly so, by many people, and I'm looking forward to it. I can already tell that there's a bunch of great contestants here today, so that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Now we have GaelordTarg. Hey.
Hello, I'm GaelordTarg, and I'm just a big A Song of Ice and Fire fan. I'm in my truck right now just so I can make it.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to defending the rightful queen.
Awesome. Tinfoil Maester.
Hi, I'm Tinfoil Maester. I go by Hi Pikachu on Reddit and the Song of Ice and Fire subreddit, where I post a lot of tinfoil and assertions that certain things are references to cartoons and pro wrestling. And I'm here to defend Queen Cersei.
I love your chain.
Actual foil.
Mixture of foil. We have Westeros and Chill.
Hey
I
guys.
love your top. I love your snake print top.
Thank you. I'm a former zookeeper who works with reptiles, lots of big reptiles and stuff like that. I also have a YouTube channel, Westeros and Chill. You can check it out. I haven't done anything in a while, but I'm looking forward to hopefully doing more stuff in the future. And I'm definitely coming to bat for one of my favorite characters in this whole universe, Queen Cersei.
I love her. Okay, so next I have Maester Tehn.
I just changed it to Tara just because.
Maester Tara.
Okay. I haven't really posted in a while, but sometimes I post on TikTok, and I just talk about whatever. It's not really focused on A Song of Ice and Fire. It's just whatever's on my mind, which is everything.
Cool. And I heard a rumor that you had a little like tinfoil theory about the subject.
Yeah.
Did you share that with the class, please?
Okay, so I think that George loves to do history repeating itself, but I also think that maybe he likes to play with reincarnation because, like, he references Eastern, like, mythology and stuff a lot, like, especially, like, Middle Eastern and kind of. I don't know if he's focused on Indus mythology yet, but definitely, okay, if you think about the reincarnation and all of that stuff, it feels like what's happening to Cersei and what's happening to the High Towers is kind of like in current timeline a curse, or like kind of like repeating history repeating itself to what Rhaenyra was in that situation. Now a Lannister is in that situation, and Lannisters again played a big part in her downfall, what happened to her. And like,
wait, so who exactly is being reincarnated?
I feel like the curse was that your families are going to be in that situation that you put me in, basically.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, in the books, we don't really know who set up the betrothal, but if we think that Otto set up the betrothal between Rhaenyra and Lenore, and he knew that Lenore might have been gay, he was kind of setting her up to either not have kids so that his grandchildren would be, next in line, or for her to have bastards so that he can say, she has bastards. They can't be on the throne.
Awesome. Okay.
Like, she's trapped either way. Like, it's a like, you know what I mean? and Cersei is in the similar situation where like she literally cannot have kids with someone like Robert. Like she doesn't want to.
Okay, that's something for us to think on. All right, let's get to the debate. Okay, this is what we're here for. So, if this is your first time here, let me tell you the rules, how things are gonna go. So we have 2 teams. We have 3 on Team Cersei, 3 on Team Alicent, and the judge today is the chat. The judge today is going to be the chat, and it's going to be I'll be keeping score, and if it's a tiebreaker, I'll break the tie because it's my fucking channel. But yeah, so we're gonna do our arguments, and then after each round, we will the chat will decide which team they think had the better argument. Please, 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 as with all my debates, do not lean on your own understanding. Like, don't go from like what you think the thing should be or your attachment or your feelings. Go off of the arguments and what's being said. Like, challenge yourself to think objectively when it comes to this, because it's more fun that way. It's just more fun that way, right? Okay, so let's get started. Is everyone ready? Any questions? Any questions from the chat? All right, so here we go. I'm gonna move some of us around. Okay, so on Team Alicent, we have me, we have GaelordTarg and Yogi. And then on Team Cersei, boo! We have Tinfoil Maester, Maester Tara, or Tara. I'll probably say Tara because I'm fancy.
Yeah.
And then we have Westeros and Chill on Team Cersei. All right, cool. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Everyone gets a blowjob for being here. We have 14 people watching. I'm so happy. Now, the blowjob will be coming from Cersei. Yes, it will be coming from Cersei, but you get a free blowjob for being here. Thank you.
I don't know if you want that.
Thank you, guys. Hey, the prize is the prize. You don't, like, who are you to the prize? All right, so here we go. So I need a little bit more height. Hold on. People.
I'm going to use this opportunity to say that it's no surprise that the opposite team hates Alicent because 2/3 of them are Maesters.
Listen, why would Maesters hate Alicent?
Because they're
She's
men.
like- But like they would love her. She's a high tower. She's a queen. She's all about religion. She's like all, oh, I'm fancy. I don't know. They would love her.
I'm not sure about that.
Maesters and high towers have like a thing.
All right, chat. So, all right, guys. Chat. So let's come up with some emojis. So when it's time to vote, it's easy to count the votes. So I think obviously for Cersei, we could do the lion. Does everyone have access to like emojis? Am I asking too much of the world? No. Is that good, or is there a better emoji to use for Cersei? A lion?
I think
Definitely
that's
a
the best
lion
one.
would be good.
That's the best one.
And then
She's
for
a lion.
Alicent, there's like I wanted like a symbol for like a tower, but there's like a castle.
That could work. Or you could do a
Could
green
work.
circle.
Green circle.
Yeah.
Can everyone
Green.
if everyone finds a green circle and a
Or
lion?
a green dragon. I think there's like a green dragon.
That's better.
Wine versus feet, Terra Incognita says. A picture of like a wine glass filled with wine and then the feet.
Oh god.
I like wine versus feet. We're not
Wine
Okay.
is pretty. It's
Yeah, honestly,
Pretty
I
funny.
guess.
because we're not basic bitches.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're not gonna be lying.
The chat is
The color
the
green.
tiebreaker, so that's what the chat
Okay,
wants.
so this is what I love you guys. Fuck. This is what we're gonna do. Everyone in Jim Young said a dragon and the lion. Nah, man. What I want the chat to do is to find the picture of the wine glass and find the picture of the foot. Sometimes it's better to just type it into search and then post it. That way it'll be in your like recent, so it's easy to find when it's time to vote. Thank you. All right, cool. So as the chat does that, I know written stuff is like on a delay. So let's get going with the first question. Woo! All right. So the first question is, who better exhibits the qualities of a good friend? Essentially, who would you personally want as your best friend? That's the question. I'll say it again. Who better exhibits the qualities of a good friend? Essentially, who would you personally want as a best friend? Cool. So I guess we'll go in order here. But I'll let Team Alicent go first. Tinfoil Maester. Prepare yourself while I prepare something to write with.
Okay. I'm ready for this one.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I hope chat's ready. Ooh, I see the feats and the wines. A versus C. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Tinfoil Maester. That's me. All right.
Right?
Can you see the...
Kind of.
Maybe I will use this one. Is this one easier to see?
It's more there's a lag thing going on with your screen, but yeah, now I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously, I'll like say something too. All right. And start.
Okay, so looking at their like qualities as a friend, you have to look at who their actual friends are, which is a pretty good indication of who you would be if you're a friend of these two queens. Cersei's friends are Tehn and Merryweather, Qyburn, Jaime. She has like actual like people I would want to hang out with and like be amongst her friends, mainly Taena. Whereas, as far as I can tell, Alicent's only friends are her immediate family and Kristen Cole, which immediately tells me what kind of like friendship circle she keeps, which is a sexist and a bunch of weirdos who are just plotting around her. Completely different from Cersei. Furthermore, Cersei, as a friend, will be constantly gassing you up because she lives only in her own world and only in a world where everything is best for her. Okay.
You can finish your statement.
It's best for her, whereas Alicent will try to tell you, reasonable things, which is not what I want out of my friends.
Okay.
Yeah, Alicent would be a little judgy.
Okay. All right. So now it's my turn. It's me, guys. All right. And once again, the question is, who better exhibits the qualities of a good friend? Here we go. So what makes a good friend? A friend is someone that you continuously connect with. It could be a connection over shared interests, values, beliefs, experiences, and it's someone that you share a close affection with, and someone that you, most importantly, enjoy being around. That's Alicent. But also a friend is someone that you could benefit from. That's someone who doesn't like detract from your life. It's someone who adds to your life. Cersei fucking detracts from your life. Everything she touches withers. Like she's a Lannister. You would think everything she touches turns to gold. Instead, it fucking withers. She's fucking cursed, like Tehn said in the beginning. Alicent is a good friend. Alicent looks out for her friends and tells them the right thing to do. This is the friend who picks you up when you're drunk at a party. This is the friend who bails you out of jail, or better yet, keeps you out of jail because she's telling you all the right things to do. She's a good influence. And yeah, goody goodies can be annoying, but they're still a good friend to have. So if the question is who I'd rather have as a friend, it would be fucking Alicent, not Cersei, bitch.
Whose turn
All
is
right.
it next?
Next, it is your turn.
Oh, okay, good. Because I had a thing to build on to what you said, which is
Wait,
okay,
hold
but
on.
everybody.
No, You don't.
Hi.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay,
I have
ready?
to wait until the. Okay,
Yeah, no freebies.
I forgot
See,
about that. I'm sorry.
look at what Team Cersei is doing, chat. Look at
Listen,
it.
I'm just forgetful.
I just want you guys to remember.
Okay.
Michael talks about stuff. Oh my God, let's just pause for a second. Michael talks about stuff is in the chat. I want you guys to click on his name and subscribe and watch his videos. And that's what I want you to do.
You got it.
Thank you for being here. Like, it's an honor. You're fucking great. You're so refreshing in the fandom. So refreshing. Okay, Tehn, talk your shit starting now.
Everybody wants a different kind of friend. I feel like I would want a Cersei kind of friend because she doesn't really judge me when I want to do things that are not very conventional. She's also a little bit too into herself to focus on my flaws, to be honest. She just wants to be liked. And I can pretend to like somebody if they give me a ton of money to do weird medical experiments to further my career, even though I don't technically have the title anymore. Just saying, I feel like that would benefit people.
Okay.
I still have more time, don't I?
You have a lot more
I
time.
literally
You don't
can't
need
tell.
it. You don't need it. If you proved your point, you proved your point. So
Okay.
yeah. All right. Cool.
I can jump in with one extra thing.
What's the extra thing?
If that's not breaking the rules.
What's the extra thing?
Orain Waters also benefits immensely from his friendship with Cersei.
Yeah, like listen, I don't need to I don't know, not everybody needs the same kind of friends.
Okay. So it's my team's turn. So we have a rebuttal. Do we have a rebuttal?
I would just say.
Yes.
Oh, you want to take it, Yogi?
I was just gonna say one of these two threw her childhood friend down a well and killed her, and the other one didn't. So, rip Melara Heatherspoon, too soon, gone too soon. Also, Alicent is the type of friend who will support the people that are close to her. Cersei does not care about anyone other than herself. There is not a single friend in her life that she hasn't fucked over, and the only ones she hasn't fucked over are the ones who are fucking over her. Qyburn is not her friend. He's an Nazi doctor who just takes advantage of her because he likes experimenting on people. And oh my God, I'm running out of time. I don't know. Alicent, we might question her choice of friends. Kristen Cole is strong, but you cannot deny that she is supporting her friends. She is with them, and that is why I want her as my friend. Because if Cersei Lannister is your friend, you are going to die. So she's a terrible friend.
Okay.
I would say she shouldn't be your only friend. That's true.
Do you guys have a rebuttal?
Yes.
Team Cersei, Westeros and chill. Here we go. This timer is off, so and your time starts now.
Okay, so for one, Cersei's just more fun. Alicent doesn't have any friends. As far as what makes a friend connecting with people, who does Alicent connect with? Nobody. She can't even connect with her own fucking kids. Let's see, who else? She connects maybe with a little bit with Kristen Cole, who probably is just in love with her. So as far as what a friend would be to me, it's somebody who is fun to drink with, somebody who I can gossip with, somebody who might get me off even, which she does with Tehn. So she's even a friend with benefits. As far as throwing Melara down the well, if somebody was trying to steal my husband, I might do the same thing. Just saying. Bitch was trying to steal Jamie away from her, and she wasn't going to let that happen. That was one time. Come on.
Oh my God,
the rest
think
of the
about
time,
it
her
like
friends
that?
seem pretty content and happy to be her friend. And as far as Qyburn not really caring about her, that's why he tended to her feet so lovingly when she got back from her walk of shame. Seems like he cares about her to me.
I
Time.
think he's important for him.
She's his meal ticket.
This is
doesn't
not like
care
a
about her.
point, but what she said reminded me of something. It gives me very much like the things I do for love vibes. What Cersei did, now that like she put it in that framing, gives me very much.
How
I'll do
different is down a
anything.
well from down a tower?
Guest
Yeah.
in the chat says it was one time, you guys, one time.
Also, we don't know if she pushed her in the well. We just know that she fell in the well and she didn't tell
Oh.
anybody. That's what we know. I'm just saying.
It is not
Mhm.
clear.
Killing
Hiding
is
the
still
frog could have
killing
been-
if you don't find somebody help, like, but at the same time, we don't know if she was like, I'm gonna just push this bitch,
It
Maybe
was
she just fell and Cersei was like, I'm not gonna get you help. I don't trust
So
you.
let's hear from the chat. So we have Bio Momo. She says, if you're Cersei's friend, you die for giving Jamie a compliment.
Oh my god, she's not even nice to Jamie. I'm on Cersei's team. Why am I doing your work for you?
It's really hard
Yeah.
not to make
They
points. against
both
them.
have flaws as friends. I'm gonna say that. Like they're very different kind of friends.
All right, chat, it's time to vote. So remember the question was, who better exhibits the qualities of a good friend? Essentially, who would you personally want as a best friend? So if you think that
Can we do like a
team-
recap of the points everybody did? Because like the recap would be, what would be the recap?
you do the recap.
I'm trying to remember what everybody said.
Well, my
Alicent would tell you if you're doing something wrong. Cersei would just not judge you. Alicent would guide you, help you, and actually like be like, you know what? I don't think that's good for us. Let's put that down.
Yeah,
And-
except Alicent also marries your dad and judges you for getting laid.
All right, so
That's what
far we have
yeah.
1 foot.
And
We
then
have 1 foot in the chat.
And then, you can be vulnerable with Cersei, but
Two
Alicent wouldn't totally open up to
Wait.
anybody. I think she's very closed off,
Wait,
which is why
two
she
feet.
has like trouble connecting with their kids. But yeah, like I guess Cersei
Unlike Cersei,
because she's so drunk all
who's
the
a
time.
great
she's
mother.
Like, no, she's not a good mother. But I'm saying you can be vulnerable with her because she's so drunk all the time. She'll just tell you all her secrets. She literally told Sansa all her secrets.
push you.
Yeah, but I feel like
Push you down the
Cersei
well.
has a deep-seated disdain for vulnerability. She hates people who are emotional.
But she's so drunk, she's being vulnerable
Like her dad
anyway.
And she always
She's
thinks
not
she's better than
realizing
you.
it. Oh, that too. But like she's so drunk, she's not realizing. She's opening up to way too many people. I think that's like also.
Oh
to her
my
detriment.
gosh, David Lightbringer's in the chat. Hey, he says
Oh my God.
Alicent also manipulates Rhaenyra hardcore starting from episode 2 at the behest of Otto. Yes, but wow, so
Yeah.
he's coming up in here on Team Cersei.
The thing is, like, Alicent doesn't think for herself, so whatever she's saying, some of it's coming from definitely political influences, and you can't really trust what she like. Yeah, it might be in your best interest, but it might mainly be in her best interest too. I think that's true about both Cersei and Alicent. Now that I think about it, like, yeah, they want you to do well, but the reason why she wants Qyburn around, like, it's a mutually beneficial relationship in both cases, I guess. Like, because Qyburn wants something, Cersei wants something. Like, they both are getting something from this.
All
And
right.
on
so
top
the
of
chat,
that, like, he saved her brother. He saved her brother's life. So like,
all right, blah blah blah. The chat has voted. There's not one wine glass. I want the record to show not even one wine glass. All feet. It's all feet.
You want to fall in a well.
Team
All
Alicent
feet.
gets
we
the
don't
point.
know what happened. We weren't.
All right,
We know.
question 2.
We
so
know
this
what
time, this time Team Cersei is gonna go first. So and I'll reverse the order. So Westeros and Chill, you'll go first, and then Yogi, then Maester Tara, then Daron, then Tinfoil, then me if we have a rebuttal. Cool. All right, Westeros and Chill. Hope you're on deck.
We're going to do the prompt first.
Yeah. Sorry, just setting up the camera. All right, so the prompt is question 2. Who is the better mother? Who is the better mother? And your time starts now.
Who is the better mother? Definitely the lioness herself, Cersei. So for one, she has 3 kids. One of them is kind of a psycho, sure. The other 2 are perfectly fine. They seem great. Alicent has 2 psychos and a nutto. So there's that. let's see what else. She loves all of her kids unconditionally, even if Joffrey is a psycho. She still loves him. Alicent seems like she doesn't even love her kids sometimes, if we're going by the show. Let's see what else. Everything Cersei does is for her kids. She said it herself. She would have thrown herself out a window. She wouldn't even be alive without her kids. So everything that makes her motivation, like everything she does, is for her kids and in their best interest. Alicent is out for her own means. She even drags her kids into a war that ends up ending both of their lives, all of their lives. Cersei does everything she can to keep her kids out of war. Cersei does everything she can.
And that's your time.
Prophecy from happening.
You can finish. Yeah, please finish your statement.
That's it. That was good.
All righty. Now we have Yogi.
Oh, sorry. I think her last part was that she said she also tried to get the prophecy from happening.
Yeah.
Is the time running yet? No.
Not yet.
Right.
Your time starts now. Who is the better mother?
First of all, I'm not going to judge any of these two women for how any of their children turned out, because in this medieval society in Westeros, queens do not do the raising of their children, and we cannot blame either of them how the brain chemistry turned any of their kids into psychos. That being said, Cersei does not love her children. She sees them as extensions of herself and as living proof of how she managed to fuck over her husband that she hates, and she may claim that she's obsessed with them and loves them, but she doesn't really think about any of them other than Joffrey, and she only does so about how much like he is to Jaime. So with Cersei, her love for her children is really just an extension of her love for herself. Whereas with Alicent, her love for her children is unconditional. As you rightly pointed out, all of her kids are weirdos to say the least, but she loves them so much. I mean, she started a whole war to get her son on the throne. Granted, it got him killed, but it's not like she intended that to happen. She meant to win.
I mean,
Alicent
didn't start the war.
Alicent has the same level of dedication that Cersei claims to have for her children, but Alicent actually has it because she sees her children as what they are, children that she needs to love, despite the fact that they're sex perverts and weirdos and genocidal maniacs. And that's, I yield my time.
Your time.
Oh, great.
All right. Next we have, who was it? Maester Tara. You guys.
Sorry for throwing you off for that, by the way. I didn't think about it until after.
You're just a cheater, just like Cersei. Okay.
Listen, that's not cheating. How is that cheating? Anyway.
And your time starts now.
Okay. I know that Cersei's love is very twisted, but she's a fierce mother. I would say I don't want to judge any of the mothers in A Song of Ice and Fire because, you don't know what it's like to grow something inside of your body, have it come outside. And these women are literally risking their lives because this is medieval times. They're literally risking their lives to bring these people into their world. And also the way in Cersei's chapter she talks about, how it feels to breastfeed, that's a mother's love. She genuinely loves these babies no matter how twisted it comes. She cares about them and she wants the best for them. But I do agree it doesn't work out the best. And again, she's not the only influence in these people's lives. A lot of the things that people say and do and where they are, a lot of times Cersei's children are taken away from her without her permission. Tyrion sends them away
and that's
twice.
Your time. And that's your time. All righty. So now it's rebuttal time. I definitely have a rebuttal. So I guess I'll go first. All right. So for Alicent's defense, here's my time. So one way to judge a mother is to judge the fruits of her labor, her children. So I was watching House of the Dragon, and I was watching that Aemon scene where he's training, he's a fucking good warrior. He's amazing. And Alicent raised a man who could do that, but also that his soul claimed the biggest dragon. That says something about Aemon that Vhagar chose him. Then there's Aegon. Say what you want about Aegon, but he claimed the throne even though he didn't want to. He didn't run away like Laenor. Okay, he did the hard thing. He did his duty. He's not like Tommen, who like threw himself out the window because he didn't want to sit the throne anymore. Aegon sat his ass down. Then you have Helena. Helena has performed femininity splendidly, especially to the Westerosi freaking customs, like the way they do it, which is way harder than performing femininity in 2024. But she does that. There's no rebelling. There's no scandals. She's unproblematic. She's like perfect daughter, perfect queen, perfect mate. Okay. Alicent raised that. So a main job of a mother, and that's my time. Fuck. Yeah.
Can I say
Rebuttal.
something to? Okay.
Rebuttal for Team Cersei.
I can take the rebuttal.
Okay. Tinfoil, here you go. And your time starts now.
So the metric we definitely need to judge by is what are the impacts that their motherhood has on the children, the people around them, and the way that their children act as adults. And unambiguously, Cersei's kids, Marcella, almost called her Helena, Marcella and Tommen. Cersei's 2 for 3 on good kids. Tyrion even says she beat the odds. Alicent is at best 50-50 if we're counting Daeron and Helena. I'm also not willing to say that just taking the throne is a good thing or taking Vhagar is a good thing. Both things lead the realm into war. It's a sociopathic inclination towards violence. Cersei does everything in her power to keep Joffrey and Tommen and everyone away from battle and away from dying, whereas Alicent takes actions that lead directly to war and the death of her children. And it's a wash on the sociopathy of the firstborn sons.
And that's your time. Okay, Tehn, I'll let you talk for a little bit, but hold on. Chat, it is time to vote. So question 2 is who is the better mother? So not based on your own opinion, based on these what is this called? What are we based on
These debate points.
Our points, yes.
Yeah.
Based on our points. Please vote a wine glass for Cersei or a foot for Alicent. Oh, I'm seeing too many wine glasses already. I didn't see those. I'm a person. I didn't see them.
I especially love what Tinfoil Maester said. Like I agree. Like she tried really hard to keep her kids out of harm and danger, and even those Starks, like she didn't vibe with them. She was like, okay, like if this is what's gonna keep my husband like from fucking around or whatever, like I'll marry my kid to a Stark. Like and even when that whole stuff happens, she's like, go be nice to her. Go be nice to Sansa, and she tries. She's like, be a better bitch. I don't know. She tries.
I only have one thing to say, and it's you can tell a lot by a mother if her kids listen to her. And Cersei's kids never listen to Cersei. Alicent's kids
They
did
do.
listen.
They do listen to her.
Tara,
He literally gives Sansa a necklace because Cersei tells him. She's like, listen, like, and she has a lot of influence on him because she literally says, like, once you're king, like, your word is law, and he believes her. He listens to her.
Well, the chat gives this one to Cersei because I don't know. Sometimes the chat messes up.
Must be a mistake.
That necklace thing happened in the show.
So you referenced the show
semi-canon.
too? Someone referenced the show earlier too.
All right, question 3. So for this one, who wants to go first? It's my team's turn to go first.
I'll go first.
No, we're all out of order. Daeron, okay. Who wants to go first for Team Cersei?
Okay, if the necklace thing doesn't count, I'm just saying the window thing shouldn't count either because that didn't happen.
Okay.
Show and books count.
Who's going first? Who's going first?
I think Daeron said he wanted it.
Who's a better wife?
No, but for Team Cersei.
Team Cersei, who's a better wife? Oh God, I don't know.
All right, my team will just go, and then we'll get to you guys when we get to you guys. All right, Daeron, here you are. So question 3 for the chat is, who is the better wife? Who is the better wife, Cersei or Alicent? Daeron, your time starts now.
Well, all we have to ask is Alicent always, in the show, Alicent always took care of Viserys even when his skin's falling off. And in the books, Cersei takes pride in killing Robert's heirs, killing them, and has incest babies, and Cersei ends up killing Robert and both of them by spiking his wine, so a boar comes in and kills him. So Alicent's by far the better wife.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And so who's Tehn, you're gonna go first?
My point is going to be weird, and maybe like you guys aren't going to like what I have to say, but like, are we saying like wife as in like common law wife? Because like if you count the wildling rules, Jaime would be her husband, and I think she's a very loyal wife to Jaime to the most part, other than the times that she cheated on him.
Girl, whatever proves your point.
I'm just kidding. I honestly am trying to like think of anything to, but I do think that on a level, they've been together for so long and they kind of like stole each
All
other.
right, and your time starts now.
She loves him in a weird way.
Your time starts now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my time had already started.
Gosh, hold on. I got another timer just for this. Are you ready? And your time starts now.
Okay, wait.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Sorry, I didn't realize my time hadn't started earlier, so I'm like taking up some of it now to even it out. I don't have another. I'm sorry. No, but Cersei is a good wife to Jaime for the most part, and even when she cheats on him, she does it to protect their kids. And even when she says like, "Hey, don't be around our kids," she does it to protect their kids. And she never has kids with anybody else, and she is always like obsessed with freeing him when he's imprisoned, and she literally like loses it when she realizes that he's injured and all that stuff. I feel like she in a weird way does care for him, and I feel like if you ask a wildling, they're married.
Okay. Alrighty. And on our team, Yogi, you want to go? It's Yogi's turn.
Okay.
All right. So the question is, who is the better wife? And your time starts now.
I feel kind of bad for the Cersei side of this argument, so I'm going to be gracious and concede that in the book, Alicent probably killed Viserys. Let's face it. She probably poisoned his drink. That being said, I still think she's a better wife than Cersei because it's just, even if we're going by, Jaime is Cersei's real husband, she's horrible to Jaime. She drops him the second he gets crippled and doesn't fulfill her idea of like an ideal warrior that she really wants to be. So the second that image is gone and he exudes some kind of vulnerability or change in his or growth, she just drops him like a hot potato. She cheats on him and she's very mean to him. So yeah, I mean, even by wildling standards, she's a terrible wife. And Alicent, she in the show she's a saint for putting up with Viserys for as long as she did. But even in the book, we never get any indication that she was particularly cruel or even.
And time.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
All right, cool. Whose turn is it now on the other team? Westeros and chill. All right, and your time starts now.
Okay, so for one, if we're looking at both of them don't really love their husbands who they have legally been assigned to, sold off to. However, at least Cersei's a good lay. She's definitely getting him off and swallowing and everything. Also, Alicent might have had to put up with Viserys's old corpsey body on top of her, but Cersei had to deal with getting beaten around, getting cheated on constantly. And she still played the part for most of the time they were together. As far as Robert's death, is it really Cersei's fault? She made a strong drink for him. He's the one that did the drinking. He's the one that went out hunting and drinking, which, by the way, is never a good idea if you know anything about hunting. So I believe that in a way, she kind of put him out of his misery. He was a miserable guy, and he ended up really killing himself. As far as who is a better wife, I think Cersei played the part better for longer. Alicent left Viserys' body to rot. She also disobeyed Viserys, tried to disinherit his eldest kid, who he desired to be queen.
Oh, wait, I know it's not the other side's turn, but can I add something?
Quickly.
Sorry, it's just I know that she cared for Viserys, but I don't know if she was doing the same amount of caring by the end because that room was dusty. If we're gonna go by the show, like that room was fucked. What do you mean cared? Like he was. Did you see how much he like? And he was like like hopped up on Poppy. That wasn't good for him.
Yeah.
I know he was in pain, but like there's other ways to like there is probably other stuff you could do to alleviate pain than just like have him drugged up all the time. He wasn't running
All
the
right.
kingdom.
Yeah. So my rebuttal is I don't even need the timer. I actually did have bullet points, just proving that Alicent was the better wife. But I think it'd be better to just say that like everyone here knows, everyone in the chat knows that Alicent's the better wife. I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right, chat, time to vote. Question
Hold
3.
on. Hold on. I want
Wait.
to hop in with a rebuttal.
Oh, sorry. I thought you guys did already. I'm so sorry. Here you
Oh,
go.
I didn't know it was only one person doing a rebuttal.
And your time starts now.
Yeah. Cersei's a better wife because she let Robert indulge his hobbies. Whoring, drinking, hunting. She just let him do all his shit up until the end of his life. That's a great wife. Whereas Alicent, by the end of it, didn't give a fuck about Viserys's like plans for Rhaenyra's coronation, or even more damningly, his Warhammer set. As
Okay.
it went to dust. Robert got to do his hobbies right until his very last moment because Cersei is a great wife.
Cheers. All right, chat is voting. Chat is voting. I'm gonna give a little bit more time. So we got Jeremy feet, Ashley feet, Nikki wine glass. Anyone else want to vote? Tara, what's your vote? Foot or wine glass?
She couldn't love her husband's first kid like her own. And I feel like that's one of the things you're taking on as a wife if you decide to be a second wife. Like she couldn't find that in herself. Like if my kid fucked up, I'm gonna obviously be like, okay, it's fine. Like you fucked up, I forgive you. But she couldn't do that to Rhaenyra because she still thought of Rhaenyra as her friend instead of her daughter. Like she didn't think of herself and she couldn't and whatever. But in the books at least she has such an age difference that she should have been able to see this 9-year-old as her daughter. Like, I don't know.
We're already in voting on.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, there's a part of me that has to do devil's advocate, even though it's not my own team. Like, didn't Cersei already also not really accept Maya Stone?
To be fair, Cersei didn't accept any of Robert's bastards, which is weird because like she didn't even care about Robert. So it's like,
She
why
ended
do
up
you
killing them.
care? I think it's because of
I
political
thought that was
reasons. I don't
Joffrey.
think it was love
Depends on
thing.
In the show.
Yeah,
In the
I think it
show.
was political reasons, not like love thing, maybe.
Nettles, are you viewing all chat and not top chat? What do I know? How do I look at top chat? No, I'm sure I could see everything because I'm on StreamYard. But I'm also looking at it on my phone.
I did not even know you could see the comments.
It says top messages, all messages on here. On my phone, I just switched it. Okay. Am I frozen now? Okay. All right. I was frozen for a bit. Okay. Anyways, I have so the chat has voted Alicent the Foot. Thank you. The Foot has won. Yes. Yes. Feels so good to win. So I have a next question, which is like the question is who is more brave, specifically speaking to a woman's bravery. Like that's the phrase that Brienne coins when she's describing Catelyn. But I feel like that's boring. Let's go to the next question, right? Or should we do that question?
I don't know, but they're both brave in their own way. I don't know how I'm good at debating. I can see both perspectives.
Let's skip it because I don't want us to run over time.
Call it a tie, and they're both very brave given their circumstances. This is good.
Yeah. No, I'm like, that's a lame question, but I'm a nerd. Sometimes it can't be perfect all the time. All right, let's get to the next question. All right. Who has better motivation? Meaning, who has the better story? Okay. So whose turn is it to go first? You guys have to help me because I'm pretty fucked up now. So
Yeah, I don't know whose
about
turn
like
it is
whose
either.
turn, whose team, and all that stuff. Okay, guys. You guys remember what happened before the stream started? It's caught up. Okay.
I mean, I can go if no one remembers.
Yeah.
Cheers to
Well,
that.
I'm just saying. Remember, like, okay, whose team is going first?
Cersei, we went last time, I think.
Okay.
Okay, Cersei's team.
I'll go first.
Okay, Westeros, then Tara, then Tinfoil. Cool. And then my team will go on the fly. All right, so that's the question one more time. Who has better motivation, meaning who has the better story? And your time starts now.
So I think Cersei has the advantage on this one because she actually has her own chapters. We have a complex character who we get to see their motivations inside of their head, all their thoughts, their inner monologue. That makes for a way better character. So I think Cersei's kind of a no-brainer on that one because she totally has the advantage there. Her motivation is kids, legacy. It's kind of very similar to Alicent's motivations, but what makes a better story? George R. R. Martin said, what was it? There is no story worth telling other than the human heart at conflict with itself. And as far as conflict, Cersei's got the most conflict with herself. That makes her more interesting. So let me see. Also, she has more romances, more drama in her story. That's just way more interesting and more fun to follow. Alicent, most of the time, is sitting around a castle being a bitch. Let's see. Alicent doesn't have any conflict with
And
herself.
that's time. All right.
Is it my turn?
No, it's our
Oh, I'm sorry.
team's turn. Yoki, Daron, you guys want to go?
You got this. I don't got
I can go.
a good one for this one.
All right.
So,
And your time starts now.
Cersei's motivation is not her kids. Cersei's motivation is narcissism. She is entirely guided by selfishness. And Alicent's story is a far more tragic story because she did all she did to keep her kids safe. If she had allowed Rhaenyra to take the throne, Daemon would have 100% killed all of her kids. Cersei could have just let bygones be bygones, let Ned be the regent. Ned would never have harmed her children. Stannis would have become king. She would have been fine, but no, she just had to have the power, and that's what got all her children killed. Alicent is a more tragic person. We actually know Alicent's story from start to finish. We know how she started out and how she died. She died thinking that, asking about the king that was long dead, thinking of better times with all her children being dead, and she showed a lot of resilience and strength in the conflict, and that is why she has a better story, because it was not just all about herself.
And that is time. Okay. Who's next on the losing team? Team Cersei.
It's me.
Tara. And your time starts now.
Okay. I feel like Cersei does have better motivation because I know a lot of people think that Daemon would have killed them, but I genuinely don't think that Rhaenyra would have let him, and Rhaenyra's in charge. And the episode where she's literally giving birth and she's like giving out orders makes it very clear that she's in charge. She would have made sure her friends' kids were safe. I disagree. I mean, if we're going to hypothetically like theorize, like I would say that Rhaenyra wouldn't let her friends' kids die. I don't think that she wanted bloodshed. She literally, her motivation was to keep the realm together. So I think that this war was just started by Alicent for like her father put her into this. And whereas Cersei, she's literally doing this because she is okay. I know that the actions lead to her losing her children, but her intentions is to avoid the prophecy. She knows a prophecy since she's 10 years old, and at that time she's probably also going through puberty. She's hormonal.
You can finish your statement, though.
I was just saying, like, I think that the prophecy was on her mind constantly, and she wanted her kids to survive, because how can you not once you give birth to a thing, you know?
All right. So, my turn. Who has better motivation? Time starting now. So Alicent has a better story. She has a story of victory. Her mission was to eradicate the dragons, and she fucking did that. And so dragons are only good in theory, not function. She gave the world, 150 years of no fear of a random nuclear missile attack. So her story is a story of victory. Cersei is a story of demise. Okay, so Alicent is a high tower. High towers control schools. They control the churches. Okay, Lannisters only control a fucking gold mine. All right, so high towers are better for the end game. The high tower was built by Bran the Builder. Like, there's an association with the Starks. We need to fucking focus on the damn White Walkers. And Cersei and the Lannisters are not doing that. Therefore, her story is stupid. Okay, Alicent's story is better. Okay, and the High Towers also have a Valyrian sword called Vigilance. Vigilance, when you look that up, that means a degree of wakefulness and responsiveness to stimuli, but also the state of being constantly attentive and responsive to signs of opportunity, activity, or danger. And vigilant is basically essential of freedom, and that's a better story to tell, and that's my time.
I would say, like, it's really fucked up that high towers have in charge of schooling, but they don't make it available for the rest of the realm.
Who's next on your team? Tinfoil Maester. All right, and your time starts now.
First of all, I don't think we can say that Cersei's children would be safe under Stannis. I'm pretty sure he says specifically he's going to put Joffrey's head on a spike because he's a bastard and they're all like treason and adultery. So concern for her own safety is very much genuine. Cersei's not in the wrong or any more in the wrong than Alicent on that particular front. That's at the very least a wash. I also don't think that necessarily, one, we don't know that Alicent's like mission was to stop the dragons. It's never like said that is an inference we make from like a whole bunch of Maester conspiracy stuff. And that's not in the story, at least not yet. Whereas we have what Cersei's story is about, which is avoiding prophecy, inevitability of tragedy, and the way your own mistakes bring about the inevitability of that prophecy. I think a doomed tragedy brought about by one's own hubris makes for a more interesting story and a more interesting motivation than whatever Alicent's motivation is, which is not super made clear. It's never made clear that it's
time.
Can I add something? This is kind of unrelated, but I think the show neutered her by making her be so influenced by her father because she doesn't have that much of her own opinions in most things. She's guided by what her father thinks. No offense. The show neutered her a little bit, I feel like.
All right, is it rebuttal time? Does anyone have a rebuttal?
All I'll say is that Alicent's entire story is tragedy. She fears for her kids. She fights to protect her kids. This is the reason they rebel. And then her kids end up dying anyway. And then her whole story ends with her in grief until she dies like 2 years later after the dance. So her entire story is tragedy. It's more than Cersei's, which is most of the tragedy she did herself because she was power hungry. That's it.
Also, self-fulfilling prophecies are overdone.
Mm-hmm.
Tell that to George. Why are you coming at us?
All right.
Because we're arguing about who has a better story.
Is it a better motivation?
All right, chat. Time to vote. Who has the better story? Who has the better motivation? Please put a foot for Team Alicent. Please put a wine glass for Team Cersei.
Show me those feet.
Show me those fucking feet. Wow. The Lannisters don't even fucking have a Valyrian steel sword, and y'all have the audacity to put a wine glass in the chat.
The Lannister Valyrian steel sword is more plot relevant than the High Towers.
It's not here.
The Cersei absent one has more to do with the story than the presence of the sword they never use.
Yeah, it's more about this question's about the motivation stuff. So
vigilant.
It's such a sad story. Also, like a lot of the things just happen because of things that are not in either of their control.
All right, so
Ashley,
it
are you
looks
saying
like
you're voting?
1, 2. I have 2 feet, 3 feet,
I believe Ashley is a feat.
4 wine glasses, 5 wine glasses.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta be honest. Cersei's chapters are
5 feet. We're
pretty
actually
good.
tied. I hope I'm seeing everything. I don't see any.
She's entertaining.
We need a tiebreaker. Cersei.
Nettles, did you get? I believe Ashley saying "Call me Tarantino" is saying she's voting feet because foot fetish.
Oh my gosh, that's what that means. Hold on, I need some help counting this. Okay, so I'm starting with Michael talks about stuff with the with the wine. Another
Skylar, if you
foot.
want to vote for Cersei, we're
So
giving
it's
5
foot.
emojis.
It was wine, but now it's foot.
A few feet been posted multiple times, though.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Uh-oh.
Who's winning?
I say we just give it to Cersei. I think I counted more. I think the wines have been posted
The wines
once
were,
each,
we
and
started
some of the
off-
feet were were repeated foot
Okay,
postings.
Cersei gets the point. All right. Next question. So it's our turn to go first, right, guys?
Ooh,
I think so.
My mistake, Ashley.
Huh?
I was Ashley was saying that he is a guy, but I was letting him know.
Oh, okay. Carl Karsnark, I've been trying to find you to can you like write me on Twitter or Instagram? Can you find me? I can't find you on social. Carl Karsnark. Find me. Send me a message and say hi. I need to talk to
Wait,
you.
this whole time I thought it was Karstark. I didn't even realize.
All right. So it's our turn. I want to go first, guys. All right. So this question is who has the better team? Who has the better team? So my time starts now. Obviously, Alicent has the better team. Come on. Okay. I'm just going to list them and it's going to speak for yourself. She has a girl dad, Otto. Otto ignores all his other children and only cares about Alicent. Damn, that's a good person to have in your corner. She has the smartest man in Westeros on her team. That's the fucking Clubfoot. She has 4 kids with 4 dragons. She has the best sword in Westeros, which is Kristen Cole. And then she has her reputation. Yes, her reputation is definitely a team member because she can rally swords because she's so pure. Then she has the fucking faith behind her, okay? Don't forget what the Faith Militant did to the Targaryen line. And then she has every single man in Westeros behind her, okay? So that's her team. I don't even need the rest of the time. Mic drop. I'm embarrassed of myself, guys. All right, who's next on the losing team? Cersei's team. We win? Okay, guys, next question.
Okay, I'll go.
Westeros
I can go, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
The difference.
All right,
between-
Sarah, hold
sorry.
on. Sorry.
Sorry.
Just put your screen on. Sorry.
I always
And
forget about the timer.
your time starts now. Who has the better team?
Okay, I feel like the difference between Cersei's team and Alicent's team is that Cersei's team has no choice but to like prioritize her for at least like the first few parts of the books because she's kind of in the position of power. Whereas Alicent's team, it's her dad in the position of power, even when she is in charge, and then it's her son in the position of power later. She's never in charge. It's not her decisions. It's not her team. She's on someone else's team. If you look like if you're being real about it, and whereas Cersei, it's her team kind of, like especially because even when Joffrey's in charge, he passes away very quickly and it's her dad, like, and then Tommen's a kid. So for when we are reading Cersei chapters, it's kind of her not making very good decisions, but it's her leading the charge,
And that's time. All right. Dayron, you ready?
Yep.
All right. And your time starts now.
Well, we only have to look at both of the sides. I mean, the Greens had less dragons, they had less people supporting them with armies, yet they pretty much won the war. Meanwhile, the Lannisters, they just got lucky on their side. They got lucky with Renly's death. They got lucky with Robb marrying Jane or Talisa in the
What
show.
are they supposed to do with the magic? That was magic.
Yeah, but that was lucky though.
Thank you.
And then they got lucky with the Tyrells joining them. So all their successes are based on luck, and just luck alone. The Greens are actually successful, not based on luck, but based on.
What was that last word?
Oh,
not based on luck,
feats.
based on
feats, like successes.
I would say like
Feats,
luck isn't
feats.
a fair word though. It's like more. It's the plot. It's the magic. It's luck wouldn't be. I don't know. It's part of the destiny. It's part of the whole thing. Luck is not a fair word.
Your turn. And your time.
I love all the basketball references, by the way.
And your time starts now.
Okay, so who has the better team? So Alicent has her family, and that's pretty much it. Cersei has people she's actually won over, like Qyburn, like the Mountain, who are loyal to her. Also, Qyburn's incredibly smart, like way crazy ahead of his time. He's definitely somebody you want on your team. He could save your life, bring people back to life. Let's see, what else? There's Jaime Lannister on her team. Duh, he's just one of the coolest characters in literature. The Mountain is totally badass. He's like a giant Frankenstein warrior. That's super interesting and cool.
She also had Tyrion.
Tyrion was on her team for a time. Another one of the best characters in literature. So it seems like she has all these really cool people surrounding her, all these really interesting, awesome characters.
Tywin. It wasn't all luck. Like Tywin was so influential. Like he got everything. Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Yes. Tywin as well. Who, by the way, you're talking about the Lannisters won something by luck. Nothing has ever been luck with the Lannister. It's always been their clever wit that got them places. The end.
Yogi, ready?
I got a rebuttal. Oh, yeah.
And the time starts now.
Alicent's team is called the Greens. You know why it's called that? Why it has a name? Because it is a team. Cersei doesn't have a team because no one wants to be on her team. She's cracked. She's a loser. She gets sidelined by Tywin the second he's back in King's Landing. No one wants to be her friend. The only person loyal to her is the Mountain, and he was brainwashed, and he's a zombie, so he has no choice. Alicent Hightower has the power of God and anime on her side. She has Aemon Targaryen, she has Vhagar, she has the greatest swordsman in the world, she has Larys Strong, one of the best players of the Game of Thrones ever. There's a reason why her team has a name, because it was a team. It was a team effort. Cersei thinks she does it all by herself. Who is her team? Harris Swift? That guy who got killed by Bronn? Like, who is her team? She doesn't have a team. Not even Jaime wants to be on her team, and he's her twin brother. Alicent wins.
Woo! We can stop right there, but
okay, but she also little.
I want to get in on this.
Questionable though.
All right. And your rebuttal starts now.
Luck is a skill. Luck is better than talent. Napoleon said, "I would rather have a lucky general than a good general." And Cersei has more luck than anyone on the planet, and that is manifesting for her. That is not tinfoil or just faffing about. That is literally what happens in the Dance epilogue. Magic and conspirators, a team that she doesn't even know she has, is working to serve Cersei's interests. The Shadow Baby, the Varys coming out of freaking nowhere, Baelish working towards her interests to arrange the Tyrell Union. It all breaks her way because the team is fate. The team is the conspirator plot behind her, and that is... David, I don't care.
Has always wanted a woman to sit on it. It seems.
Is Alicent in control of her team?
Yeah, I feel like Alicent is a part of somebody else's team too. If you look at it that way, like it just seems like she's doing what's best for people around her, not really her happiness. She's like the least happy person I've ever seen. She's so uptight.
All right, well, chat, time to vote. Who has the better team? Will it be what's up, Yogi?
Just wanted to, book Alicent was definitely in charge of Team Green, especially after Otto got sidelined.
Well,
and I
the book is
will
so
take
loose.
but I'll take the book over the show.
Yeah,
you can't though, because the book is open to interpretation.
But the book is those is the show, arguably.
It's somewhere in the middle of it. Like it's
all right. So we're getting feet. This time I'm going to be really attentive in the counting.
Oh.
It's a lot of feet. Yeah.
Yogi, you better stop. Alicent won. Alicent won. Oh yeah. It was
Yeah.
so good to win.
I mean,
Yeah.
with this
I feel
one, it
pretty
really feels like
confident about the next coming up question, though.
oh
That's
my
gonna- I
gosh.
feel
It's
so
your,
good about
it's
that
your
one.
team's time to go first.
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
Oh, sure.
what's the next question?
Oh, sure. This is
Who
my
is the
favorite
best
question.
dressed?
This is like my
That's
like.
fun.
I'm
Oh,
so
boy.
excited. Okay, I know
Alright,
so
that's-
much about this. Okay.
All right, chat. So here's the question: who is the best dressed? Who got the fashion game? Who got the fashion game on lock? Okay. Who is the best dressed? And your time starts now.
Okay. We kind of have this in the bag because we have more time with Cersei, not just in the books, but in the show. Even in the books, that teardrop dress, oh my God, she brings that back twice. That is described so prettily. And then when the siege happens, she's dressed all white and maiden-like. That sounds beautiful. Ice Queen referenced by Jon when she comes to the dinner. And then there's so many outfits. And then over the course of the show, her outfits also evolve and she brings more armor and more kind of like what do you call it, the leather and the chains and all that stuff to her, so because she feels it adds to her character. Not only just does it like speak to her style, but also like how she feels, and she feels less and less safe as the show goes on, so her style evolves, and even like her hair, she loses it and her style evolves even more. She gravitates towards more darker colors rather than the red.
And that's time. All right. I'm ready to go, guys, if that's
Can I
okay.
take this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Great.
And your time starts now.
Listen, Cersei, she's got some great fits. I'm not denying that. But there's an entire political faction named after Alicent's dress style. It's the Team Green for a reason. The history books literally remember that awesome dress that she wore. I don't think any history book will ever make mention of any of the gowns that Cersei wore. Sure, she's queen. She can afford some nice fits. She's got seamstresses. But let's face it, if we're talking about using your dress, your clothing as a political weapon, there were so many people at court in King's Landing who saw that dress and were like, yes, I'm going to make that my whole thing. And they called themselves the Greens, and they dressed in green. And that is why Alicent is the best dressed, because there's literally mention in the history books. Her dress made history, and Cersei's did not. And I yield my time.
That's
Who's
not a fair
next? We
point.
still have
Because
time.
Cersei is like the present time. If you like, we don't know what's going to happen in the history, but I would say her wedding dress would also go in history because it was made by for Tywin.
But people called it the Greens at the time, not just the history books. They were called the Greens at the time.
I know, but I'm saying her wedding dress would
Westeros?
also go in a history book, I would say.
You guys
Because it
ready?
was like that was the whole point. Like this is a start of a new dynasty. They wanted to make a big deal of it. So both of their outfits were planned for, and that was the whole thing. Like I think it'll go in the history books. We don't know yet.
Okay, Westeros and chill tinfoil. Westeros, ready?
I'll go.
Let me-
Yeah.
All right, and your time starts now.
Okay, so one dress made the history books and she wore it over and over and over. The same tired old dress, right? Same green dress, boring as fuck. Did history mention any of Cersei's dresses? How about when she pulled off the coup against Robert in the throne room? She even had her own green dress that is described in great detail in the books by all the characters. And she also wore that same one in the show, and it's gorgeous. And I would argue that it's prettier than Alicent's green dress. So she even has her own green dress. She has far more iconic outfits. For like 10 years the show was on and these costumes were off the hook. We're also ignoring the hair. Look at Cersei's crazy iconic
court
hairstyles.
changes their style. Sorry.
Right. And then look at Alicent. She has the same hair down headband all the time. Boring, bland, religious garb.
And that's your time. I just want to shout out.
Yeah, the whole religious.
David, hold on. David Lightbright here in the chat just saying that Cersei influenced everyone's style at court, but then also that Ashley says Alicent would make strong socks, but that's it. And that is hilarious. Strong socks. All right, so now it's my turn.
Side note though, I just say go back and read some of the ways that George describes Cersei's looks.
All right, my turn. Who is the best dressed? So, Alicent is such a fashion icon that she has taken the entire color green for herself. It used to belong to her ancestor, Garth Greenhand, but she stole that shit from a god, okay? She stole that color from a god. So imagine wearing a dress so iconic that it's the mascot and declaration for war. My gods. So what does Cersei wear? Black, because she keeps getting everyone killed. That's it. Who's
Black is classic. I'm just going to say that.
She wears all the colors. She wears every color in the rainbow.
She changes her style. She doesn't wear the same dress.
Yeah, she's as changeable as the flames.
Tinfoil, you ready? And your time starts now.
All right. There is at least one Cersei Lannister look that will make the history books, and that's her Walk of Atonement. Literally wearing nothing will be historical. So we can't say that she's never had a look that will make no history books. Second of all, as has been pointed out, just by being like her hair is trend setting alone, she has more variety of looks where Alicent is basically from the moment she puts on the green dress locked into that look forever because she's dressed as the Statue of Liberty. George is doing an elaborate Statue of Liberty thing, and she's just dressed as the Statue of Liberty. Look at the promotions for season 2 and tell me that green crown is not the Statue of Liberty's crown. She's cosplaying the Statue of Liberty because George is doing a thing. And that's why she only has one look. And that's why Cersei wins this category.
Okay. Dayron, it's your turn, right?
Yep.
All right. And your time starts now.
Cersei might have had a dress dresses that the court followed, but Alicent had a dress that the entire continent followed. Half the continent repped that color against the black color.
I would say that's an overstatement based on nothing.
They half the realm repped that color because she's such a trendsetter, and her beautiful ginger hair. I mean, you gotta love the gingers. I know Jon Snow loves the gingers. We gotta love the gingers, and that's all.
All right. Wait, from the chat.
I mean,
David Lightbringer says Otto makes
sleeves were everything. Okay,
Hold
everybody
on,
was all about them.
David Lightbringer says Otto makes Alicent wear her mother's dresses, y'all. You can't vote for that.
I mean, he does. Also, it's just boring to wear such uptight and religious. Like over the years, her clothes get more like the neckline gets higher. It's just.
Well, you can't argue outside of the perimeter.
Sorry, it's just.
You can't argue more than the time allowed.
You gotta respect the time rules.
I'm sorry.
Whose turn is it now?
I think we close out this.
All right, cool. Chat.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Everyone's voting already. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're getting wine glasses. You guys have to open your eyes. Green.
I mean, we have more of her looks. We just haven't had enough time with Alicent to say
Who
she can't
cares?
give us more. Cersei has looks. Like Cersei is versatile. She can do anything.
All right. Y'all just voted for Cersei because you saw her naked. Nasty.
Yeah.
You nasty.
Listen, you can't look at Lena Headey's green eyes and not feel like, oh my God.
All right. So here we go. The next question is, who has a better relationship with her dad? Any daddy issues? So I think it's my team's turn first. Anyone want to go? Yogi, Darren?
Darren hasn't started in a while.
Okay. All right. Once again for the chat, who has a better relationship with her dad? And your time starts now.
Otto and Alicent worked together. They respected each other to seat Aegon on the throne. Meanwhile, Tywin doesn't even trust Cersei to lead a city. He sends his hated son, Tyrion, to lead the city for her because she's doing such a bad job. And he knows this. He has no respect for Cersei. He's marrying her off after Robert to Loras or Willis in the books. Like a brood mare, as she would say. What's there more to say? He doesn't trust her.
Mic drop. That's all we need. He doesn't even need the time. Can you guys see? He doesn't even need the time. Because we already know who has the better relationship.
Who's going from our team?
You ready? Who said it? Tara or Tinfoil?
Oh no, not me. I was just asking who's
Tinfoil,
going.
let's go. All right, let me get the other one.
Okay.
And your time starts now.
So it's super largely a wash. The broodmare thing, if that's what we're basing the argument on, that is exactly what Otto does with Alicent. It is not different and arguably more overt. I'm also willing to argue that it's better for us, the reader, Cersei's relationship with Tywin, because it is more fleshed out, more explored. Otto and Alicent's relationship is so undeveloped. The showrunners kind of go back and forth on what it's going to be, whereas the Cersei Tywin dynamic is the defining father-daughter dynamic of television for about a decade, to the point that just putting Tyrion and Cersei in a room together in the later seasons, just for the echo of the Cersei Tywin dynamic, was enough to make that one episode of season 8 or 7, whichever one it was, almost good. I think it's a wash on they sell their kids out and more interesting.
All right, I'm ready to go. Mine's gonna be pretty short and sweet. So, who has the better relationship with her dad? So, father-daughter relationships are a two-way street. If you have a good daughter, which is that's what Alicent is, if you have a good daughter, it's easy to be a good father. So, because Alicent cares and she obeys, she can have a healthy relationship with her father. And this is reciprocal in that this allows him to trust her. Okay. So when Alicent disappoints her father, also, like, the punishment is not overly harsh. So Alicent has more room to grow, to make mistakes, to try things out. Anytime she's pushed back on Otto, Otto's been like, okay, my daughter, let's see if you're right. Like, that's kind of how he looks at it. It's not like Tywin, who would have, like, killed your bedmaid or something. I don't know. But so yeah, Alicent definitely has the more healthy relationship with her dad. And that's all I need. Who's turn? Okay, Westeros and chill. And your time starts now.
So both of these two women have dads who sold them off. That can't be argued. Both got sold off. The only difference is, one got sold off to a leper, an old king, way older than her, for his own means, and the other one got sold off to, or attempted to get sold off to Rhaegar, Robert. These were, the most young, handsome, powerful men at the time. He wanted his daughter to be a queen, just like Otto did. But he also made sure he was trying to make sure her life was better than that. He thought better of her. He also raised her to be her own person. Otto raised Alicent to be a woman who just capitulates to men and obeys men. And Tywin raised Cersei to be her own person, which is kind of breaking the mold for that time. Also, just their relationship in general.
And
Tywin respects her enough to be honest with her.
My
Yogi,
turn.
you ready?
Yes.
And your time starts now.
Cersei has a big daddy issue, which is that Tywin is her daddy. She has inherited all his worst qualities. She is thin-skinned, afraid that everyone's going to mock her. She thinks she's the shit. She's the greatest political player, but she's not, and all her decisions have terrible consequences. Whereas Alicent and Otto, they're a team. They're playing 5D chess. They don't even have to talk to each other to know what the other one is thinking. They have a goal, and they followed it. Everyone knew their part. Everyone played it perfectly. Especially in the books, you really get the sense that these two are a unit. They conspire together. They don't like Tywin just disdains Cersei. He doesn't want her to have any political power. She's just a thorn in his side, and he sort of unintentionally raised her to be his exact likeness, which is kind of not good. Whereas Otto and Alicent, they recognize each other. Otto has his talents. He's the hand. He does the political stuff. Otto realizes Alicent, she's a good queen. She's the face of the whole operation. And they just let each other do their things. And you really get the sense that they're working together nice. They communicate. They follow the same goals. And they acknowledge each other as important political players. And that's why they have a better relationship.
I would just like to add, do you want to do
No, is it your turn? Whose turn is it?
I think it's my turn.
It would be her turn.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I haven't said anything yet.
I know. And your time starts now.
I just want to add specifically that we don't get a lot from Kevin, but when we do, I pronounce his name weird, whatever. But when we do, he does talk about how much he loved his kids, especially Cersei and Jaime. Like to him, those were his golden babies. Like he did want the best for them, and like she said, like he didn't look for some old ass crippled weirdo. He looked for like a good pretty guy. And even when Robert like married Cersei, he was like the maiden's fantasy, if you ask Ned. Every maiden's fantasy, whatever. So he's like not trying to make her life miserable. He's trying to give his daughter the best, and she's like he said, like she said, she's her own person. And honestly, if they didn't have that much freedom, Jaime and Cersei wouldn't have been able to hook up so much. So clearly he like trusted them enough to be like, do whatever you want. I trust you guys. Do your thing. Shouldn't have though, apparently. But
And that's
he did.
time. And that's time. All right, chat.
Can I say one more thing?
Well, let me get the votes going, and then you could say it so it doesn't count for the votes. All right, chat. So let's vote. Who has the better relationship with her dad? Feet for Alicent, wine glass for Cersei. I'm gonna start counting after Ashley's comment of sigil with that custard. All right, Westeros, say it. Westeros
So
and Jill.
in rebuttal to Yogi saying that they're a unit and they conspired together, were they conspiring together when Alicent had no idea what was going on after Viserys' death?
That's in the show.
So
book
we're
Trump's
counting
show.
both book and show.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't
The
need
book is
People are
the book is
referencing
straight from
both.
Gurm's brain. I count that
Okay, but-
over the show.
Okay, but that doesn't mean you can't count that for the debate. Everyone's gonna reference.
So
No,
they
you
both
can count the
both
show, but I
count.
think where they directly contradict each other, you gotta go book.
I think it's up to
Yeah,
the
but the
voters
book is
to
not
decide
that
what
concrete.
canon
This
they-
has been written by people. It's got other people's perspectives on it. You gotta see there's like footnotes, and it's more than what it's saying.
Yeah, but I still gotta go. I mean, I still gotta go with the book. I think the implications of the book are very much so that Alicent and Otto were a
You
conspiracy
cannot say
couple.
that. This is such a loose
to be
book that
honest,
there's no way you can
like
read
it better
this
that
and
way,
say
too.
that. There
And
is no
even in the
way.
show-
There's not that much written about their relationship in the book, because there cannot be. It's a referential. Oh, this is what happened. We weren't there at the time. They keep referencing. Oh, like no one was there. This is references. This accounts. This is blah blah blah. You can't say that based on the book. That doesn't make sense. It's a Maester's perspective way
I
later
have 6
after the
for
fact.
feet and 5. Now we're
Even
tied.
in the
6 for
show-
feet, 6 for wine.
Even in the
Damn.
show, she ultimately goes along with Otto's decision, which was
Tiebreaker.
Okay,
ultimately
but she doesn't have her
protect
own
kids.
mind. That is like in our benefit. She doesn't have her own mind.
Well, no, in the show they reach a compromise, right? Because they have different ideas about how to do the coronation. Whereas in like
Someone
even
grow.
show Tywin and Cersei, Tywin is horrible to Cersei. If you're just going by the show, he doesn't let her
And so-
decide anything.
And Cersei's whole personality is like, I'm not my own person. I'm Tywin Lannister's daughter.
In a prideful way, whereas Otto, I don't know if like Alicent feels that. She feels fear. She literally was destroying her body because of what her father was pushing her into. I wouldn't say that's a very good relationship.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true. Alicent does not seem to like what Otto is doing and he is.
Otto
putting-
pushed her into a really difficult situation with her friend. No father who loves their daughter would do that.
Okay, this one goes to Cersei, which is stupid. The next question is who has a better relationship with their mother?
I move that we strike this question from the record
was
because
about to
Alicent
say
doesn't
that
have a
too.
mother.
Well,
Yeah,
neither does
same.
Cersei.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that thought was kind of equal, but yeah, let's skip it for time's sake because it's like, well,
Technically, they don't have mothers because even Cersei lost her mother when they were young.
but
All we know
I did just want to say, since it's my channel, that my point was that Alicent's relationship with her mother is in her head, so therefore it's perfect.
I would say the same
Yeah.
for Cersei.
The
Dayron,
only
were
thing
you
we know
going to
about
say something?
the only thing we know about Cersei's mother is that she caught her and Jaime, and she's like, "Don't ever do this again, or I'm going to tell your dad." And she doesn't listen to her mother. It's like pretty much last request to leave Jaime alone.
All right.
That's
They
all.
were
That's
in
what we got on
love.
her.
Next question. Whose team is going to go first for this one?
What was the next question? Hold on.
Whose
I think
milkshake? This is the question, chat. Whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard? Meaning, who has the most siren sex appeal? Meaning, who is the fairest in the land? Meaning, who is a freak in the sheets? Who has the better love life?
I think I got to yield this one up to the Cersei side. There is
I
no
mean,
argument you can come
yeah,
up with that Alicent has more sex appeal than Cersei.
Alicent
I'm sorry, team.
She's just too religious to even want to have sex appeal. I
But
don't
even
think that's
even
a
if we're just
priority for her.
if we're just going book, I mean
Yeah.
book Cersei, she gets some, right? She has sex
Oh,
with more than
yeah.
one person.
Also,
It's like,
she literally experiments with Taina Merryweather, which was also cut from the show, which was, I think, stupid. Taina was such a good
yeah,
character.
I
She
mean,
gets to have sex
Yeah.
with people she
The
wants
young
to
Brits
have
should have been
sex
included.
with.
Okay, so I guess whose team is going first? Sorry.
I would
I
say
got-
let's just skip this
I got
because
a little-
I can start.
it's not a fair comparison. They don't have the same.
No,
kind of sex
I
life.
have my
Hold
bullet
on.
points.
I already
Well,
She
gave
doesn't
up.
even
So
have a sex life though.
I have
Okay,
a little argument.
She's
Listen, there
Sorry, I
are a
wasn't
lot of
paying
categories here that Cersei has no business winning. We got to have a couple that are kind of giving.
Okay, sorry.
Turn is whose team's turn is it?
It's Cersei's. We went last.
Okay,
First
Cersei,
time.
who's gonna go first? Tinfoil, since you're the last one talking, get ready.
Okay.
Okay, so your time starts now.
Yeah, I think we've kind of prefaced this. Cersei just has more sex, more suitors, more partners, and most importantly, has sex with people that she wants to have sex with. Alicent's sex life is just Viserys. It's just put on her, and maybe some, chaste courtly love looks with Kristen Cole or whatever, or Rhaenyra, neither of which she gets to have. This is just a gimme for Cersei. She gets Orain Waters. She gets Robert as much as she wants him. Jaime as much as she wants him. Taina as much as she wants her. What she wants, she gets. She has the most seduction power.
It's the eyes like wildfire.
All right, are you done?
I'll cap it.
Awesome. I'm ready to go, guys. Sorry, I'll let you guys
All
go
right.
next. But especially
Mine's
with your
short
guys.
anyway. Mine's short anyway.
So here, my time starts now. So we have Alicent popping out these kids and getting her figure back every time. So she probably is like vegan, does yoga, because her snapback game is tight. Okay, tight. I don't know if I'm off, but maybe I'm just going off assumptions on how she looks, and these assumptions are based from the text that talks about her looks. But it leads me to believe that her stuff was like fresh down there. I'm talking about well taken care of, hygienic, a treat to go down on. Now, Alicent also has her OnlyFans account on $30 million just on feet pics. Imagine being such a bad bitch that you're fully clothed and men are coming like a geyser. Y'all saw that scene in the show. Cersei is out here fucking kettle blacks for free with no benefits. Alicent is a bad bitch because when you can make a man come without taking your clothes off, that just shows your siren sex appeal. All right, Cersei's team.
okay, I take it back. I don't yield the point. That was a pretty good argument.
Cersei's team, what stupid shit? Westeros. Here you go. And your time starts now.
So the question is, who has a better sex life? And we're going with the person who doesn't have a sex life? That doesn't make any sense. Cersei actually has a sex life. She fucks the kettle blacks for nothing because they're hot and she wants to fuck them. Okay. She is what we would consider to be a modern sexually empowered woman, where she's fucking who she wants to fuck, to repeat what Tinfoil said. She also gets to fuck, like Jaime Lannister, some of the hottest guys ever versus like Viserys and nobody. She's a bisexual icon. She is, she's a sex symbol. Really, she is. Alicent might be in a sad, dark little corner with some feet, but that's like the dark fetish corner of the web versus the actual mainstream of being sexy.
And even Tyrion, who literally hates her, is attracted to her in that moment when she like spins him around, and after hearing that good news, he's like, "Oh my god, I actually see it. Like, I think I love her."
No, okay, time is up. Is up. All right, Dayron.
I'll
All
go
right.
next.
Your time starts now.
Real quick, all we have to do is what happens to their lovers. Robert does not like her. He does not like Robert.
That's not the
She kills
question.
Robert. She kills Robert. This is about their lovers. And the Kettlebacks are just using her. Orain uses her, and then he leaves her. Jaime leaves her because he gets tired of her, and Lancel leaves her for the faith. So she pretty much turned him into a monk and celibate because she was not a good lover, or not a good just lover in period for him. And Jaime leaves her. He despises her now. So anyone that is in love with her and has enough time to get to know her, they grow tired of her because she's not
I
good to
think
be around.
that the faith.
That's all I got.
Okay, but I just want to say that the faith thing is probably because of the war wounds, and he almost died, not because of Cersei's sex. I think he was into the sex because he didn't stop when he could have.
Yeah, everybody's into the sex with her. That's not why they stopped. They're scared of her physically. That's not the question.
Whose turn is it on Cersei's team?
I believe
It's 10,
There's
isn't
no
it?
one left, right?
Look at this. David Lightbringer says, Allie has every fetish. Teacher, nun, Madonna, queen, foot model, bitch. What else do you want?
An actual sex life.
An actual, be quiet. Whose turn is it? Tara, your mic is muted somehow.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there you are.
I did that because I don't want to interrupt people by accident because I have ADHD.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
but I
all
was
right.
just saying that even
Whose
Tyrion
turn is it?
It's my turn.
Okay. Hold on. All right, and your time starts now.
All I'm saying is that even Tyrion, who literally hates her, wants her. Like, literally, he wants her. And that moment when she looks at him, he's like, oh my God, like, she's so pretty. I see what Jaime sees in her. Even people that hate her see the attractiveness in her. And there's something about Cersei. Like, even Sansa's like, oh my God, she looks so pure and beautiful and maidenly that one time when she's dressed all in white during the siege. And Sansa's like, damn, like, you would never know she was a bitch when you saw her. Until she opened her mouth, that is. But
All
yeah,
right,
she's
cool.
attractive. It's like I mean, everyone's attracted to her, it seems. Even Jon is like, she looks like an ice queen. I would say that's a compliment. She's like looks like she's carved out of ice or something.
Did I skip anyone? Isn't okay, cool.
Yogi, you want to go?
No, I have nothing to add to this.
You're disgusted with us. All right, chat. You know what time it is. Whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard? Cersei with her diseases. You can put if that's who you vote for, you could put the wine glass. Or if you want Alicent, okay, who's gonna tell you that your stuff is big? Oh, that's the biggest one I've ever seen. You know, reassure you. Okay.
The problem is
I don't want lies.
Wine glass or foot.
Who's more desirable to the menfolk?
Even the
All
women
right.
want her.
You're going to end up running away with ships.
I would say even Brienne says she's beautiful. There's times when Brienne's like, damn, I get why Jaime's into her.
My God, it's a tie again. 3. I'm getting 3 feet with 3.
So what are the voters voting on? Is it which one are you?
Yeah,
more
is it sex
or which
appeal
one
or
are
sex
more people
life?
in universe attracted to?
I mean,
You guys
both
keep
ways.
tying it. Someone just Princess
More wine
Yoda just
glasses.
broke the tie with a Cersei. I hate you, Princess Yoda. But Cersei wins
Hey,
this one.
thanks, Princess Yoda.
Thank you.
Disgusting. Cersei's milkshake brings something to the yard, but
It'll bring
sour.
anybody.
That got a lot closer than I thought it was.
It's cottage cheese milkshake.
Hey.
Y'all just kink shaming the foot people. That's
you know,
what it
even
is.
the Septas who undressed and
Good reason.
and shaved her head were looking at her like something.
Okay, so here's the next question, chat. Which of the two wields power in the more effective way? Which of the two wields power in the more effective way? And it's my team's turn first. Yogi, Darren, y'all want this one?
I can take this one.
All right, Yogi.
Um,
Your time starts now.
Everyone who's read A Feast for Crows cannot honestly say that Cersei wields power in an effective way. That whole book is just one long essay on what a terrible ruler Cersei is. Alicent, be it book or show, she knows how to use power, the power of the faith, the power of that front she has of being the queen, and she wields the power that she has. She rules in the show. She rules pretty much along with Otto in King's Landing for years, while Rhaenyra is in Dragonstone. And for all we know, the realm was doing fine under their stewardship. Cersei managed to ruin everything in what could only have been a couple of weeks. So, I'm very surprised to hear what the opposition has to say about this. I yield my time.
Awesome. Who, Tinfoil?
Yeah, I can go.
Which of the two wields power in the most effective way? And your time starts now.
So, in Feast, the problem with calling Cersei crazy in Feast is that she keeps actually being right. She's right that the Tyrells are conspiring against her. She's right that there are rats in the wall, so she's wrong about who it is. So there's something to be said for the fact that she is just actually right during most of her rule in Feast for Crows. And she exerts power by the standards that exist to her. So she gets a champion that will always win in any trial by combat for her. She fills her small council with people who will be loyal to her as best as possible. She, by the end of her whatever reign, at this present point, she has more or less undisputed rule over King's Landing.
That's fine.
Whereas Alicent is fighting for control with Otto.
This isn't really a point or anything, but I just wanted to remind everybody of that one scene about the power is power. Such good acting by Lena Headey.
No, that one was out of bounds. No.
That's not a point, though. That's not a point. It's just a scene. That doesn't mean
Pretty good point, though. Pretty good point.
All right.
But if you look at it,
get out of here. All right. And my time starts now. Alicent can see the fat cat that Syrio Forel can see. She sees things as they are, not how they could be or should be. She's not in fantasy land like other people. Men rule the world at this point in time, so you have to play by their rules. Of course, men could be thwarted and they can be controlled, but it's a hard game and it must be played in a specific way to be skillful. So Alicent is clean and meticulous in the way that she plans and the way she executes things. Her hands are squeaky clean whenever she does something, whereas Cersei is loud and obvious and leaves a trail of clues as to who it was that did it. Alicent has so much power, yet she allows people to see her as weak so that she could better pull the strings. This is the most effective way for a woman to wield power in this time. So they say poison is a woman's weapon, but it kills you just as good as a man's weapon, a sword. So that's what I've got to say about that. Who's next on the other team? Westeros? All right. And your time starts now.
So I would argue that Alicent isn't pulling any strings. In fact, her whole scheme seems to be spiraling out of her control. And in the bitter end, she goes crazy. She can't live with anything that she's done. She's a batshit crazy old lady living the rest of her life in misery. Cersei, to the bitter end, holds on to everything she's done and sits with it with power. She is the first ruling queen of the Seven Kingdoms in her own right, if we're going by the show. Yes, the last two seasons were awful, but we can kind of infer some things that are going to happen in the book from that. She is probably going to sit the Iron Throne and be the first ruling queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
Kevin is dead in the book, so you're right on that.
Yeah. So who wields power more effectively? You know, power is always going to be dangerous. Yes, there's going to be fuck ups no matter who you are, but Alicent has everything spiraling out of her control and loses control of everything.
And that's it. All right. Dayron, you ready? Yogi?
I'm ready.
All right. The question is, who wields power in the most effective way? And the time starts now.
Alicent by far. Cersei was so bad. Varys killed Kevon because he knew Cersei would make a mess of things, which she's already been doing. And George didn't do the time skip because he's like, well, Cersei would she couldn't lead for 5 years. That's how bad she was. So George had to scrap an entire plot line because Cersei was so bad at governing. And while Alicent ruled with Otto and the Green Council, and there was peace while Viserys in the show was dying. And it's all.
I mean, she is astute about. Oh, sorry. Should I wait for the thing?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
No, Tara. Mm-mm. Is it your turn? Maybe it is your turn.
I think so.
It is her turn.
Fine. And your time starts now.
I think that Cersei is astute about predicting other people's political choices, and she has spies everywhere. Even before Qyburn, Pycelle was super loyal to her to the point where he literally was like, I'm gonna let these people die because I don't want her secret to come out. Like, people have some kind of weird, alluring, like, she has an influence over people. Like, people do stuff for her. I think that she's good at playing the part that she needs to play for the most part, like up until when things started hitting the fan. She was really good at wielding the power for like 15, 16 years, however long Robert was in charge, reigning. And she was able to basically keep her secrets and have the babies. That's not a small feat to accomplish. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have like so many people on your side. You don't think that her bedmaids know what she's up to? Like, so many people have to keep your secrets. Sorry.
Whose turn is it now?
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
I think.
All right, guys. Chat, you know what to do. Time to vote. Which of these two wields power in the more effective way? You have Alicent shutting it down. Please put a foot in the chat. And then you have Cersei, who doesn't know how to wield power at all, who drops the ball when it's her turn at bat.
Our totally objective tiebreaker / moderator. Also, speaking of big cats, look at my cat.
I feel like it takes a lot to do what she did with very little resources.
It takes a lot to be paraded naked through the street within a week of taking power without oversight. Like, she made Westeros ripe for the taking for the Golden Company. She did everything possible.
I'm not talking about the end of the book. I'm talking about like to the lead up to what we know so far. Like, it's not like, let's not focus on that just bit, because she was there. She was the queen for like a long time, like almost 2 decades.
We can focus on whatever we want to focus on.
I know, but I'm saying if we're going to, let's try to do the whole thing.
Stop trying to be fair and stuff.
All right.
Also, power is power. That statement makes no sense.
Power is power statement does make sense.
It always sounds good in
the way we saw it being done. And
hey, we're going to the next question.
Even the riddle that Tyrion and Varys mention has to do with that thing. Who the power is held by those who the people holding the sword believe the power is held by.
All right.
Which was
that was at the time Cersei in that scene.
The next question. Look at the kitty. Look at the kitty.
Michael said this is a fancy-looking cat. That is hilarious because his name is literally Dirty Man because he's the filthiest cat I ever met.
Aww.
But I still love him.
So pretty.
Cersei is the candle that burns twice as bright but half as long.
Oh my God.
All right. So here's the next question. It is, which of these two is a girl's girl? A girl's girl is basically just a girl or a woman who looks out for women. It's just like a social media term that just means like you don't put down other women to uplift yourself. Like, you're not going to be like, I don't understand how you can wear all that makeup. Like,
whose
that.
turn is
If
it?
someone says that, then they're not a girl's girl. But you know, like people like that.
Whose turn is it?
I think it's my team's turn.
Yeah.
I can go first, guys. Mine's kind of short.
Wait, I forgot who won the last thing because I know you probably mentioned it, but I forgot.
It was Alicent. It was
Okay.
defeat. I'll go. Show me them feet. So really quickly, which of these two is a girl's girl? So Alicent is a girl's girl because she wants the best for women around her. She proves it. How do we know this? It's because the way she gives advice to everyone around her. Her advice is always the same to the girls, which is to grin it and bear it. I mean, even when she was talking to Princess Rhaenys, like Princess Rhaenys has a dragon and a literal birthright to the throne, and yet she's been forced to grin and bear it. Marry this person, shut up, and have a kid. So basically, that just goes to show that when she doles out advice, she's setting up women for success. It's not what you want to hear. It doesn't sound right, but it is what it is. And so that's why Alicent's a girl's girl, because she wants the best for women. All right, Westeros and chill. Your time starts now.
You know, Alicent is such a girl's girl that she marries her friend's dad. She also rats her out for going and getting laid and having a good time. She judges her just for her own decisions as a woman. She disinherits a woman and gets rid of the chance to have a woman ruler in favor of her son because she thinks men are better. Ultimately, what is a girl's girl? Maybe somebody who sticks with the other girls and doesn't believe that men are better and capitulate to men's desires, which Alicent does at every turn. She disinherits Rhaenyra, and that is the biggest betrayal of all in terms of like girl bonding. You say that she cares about her and everything, but she also like totally rats her out. She judges her. She discards the friendship just because Rhaenyra went and did some sexually open shit. Okay,
And,
that's women judging other women.
Yogi, Daron.
I'll do this
I'll
because
go.
I'll have to leave soon.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you go ahead.
Something came up, so I'll do this quickly once the time starts.
And your time starts now.
Cersei hates women. Cersei has no interest in dismantling any of the patriarchal systems around her. All she wants is to be privy to them, but she does not at all want to let any other women climb those same ladders. She is perfectly happy to kick that ladder the second she's climbed on top of it. She doesn't appoint a single woman to her small council when she has the power to do so. Alicent, on the other hand, while she may be also operating in the same patriarchal systems, she has not this active resentment towards other women, this jealousy that we get from Cersei, this active, like, I mean, she has Felice Stokeworth tortured to death. I mean, Alicent never did anything like that. Sure, she disinherited Rhaenyra. In the show, she actually spoke up for her friend Rhaenyra, that she should be the heir until she had kids that were definitely going to get murdered by Daemon Targaryen. And that's how Otto convinced her to change her stance. So one of her kids is also a girl. So, you know, she stood up for Helena and her right to live. So, yeah, Alicent's a girl. No, not the best girl's girl, but more so than Cersei, who is a blatant, horrible sexist. I yield my time.
All right. It was so awesome having you on. Bye.
Fight
joining
on,
us.
Alicent and Joyous. I want to hear this rebuttal, but then I'm going to go.
Okay, cool.
I want to
Okay.
rebut.
I want to rebut too.
Wait.
Yeah. You can go. I already had my turn.
Oh, okay. And your
Um,
time starts now.
Okay, we can see how a woman is a girl's girl by how she treats women that are not like she's not close to. And if you see how Alicent treats her stepdaughter versus how Cersei treats Stark's daughter, who she's like, her brother's kidnapped, her other brother's at war with them, but she literally warns Sansa about what it is to be a woman when Sansa starts bleeding. She doesn't hold any truths back. She's like, listen, if those guys are able to come in here, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to care about where you are, who you are. They're going to rape you because you're pretty and you're young. And that's how the world is, and that's how men are. And she warns Sansa, like, okay, this is how the world is now that you're a woman. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's ugly, it's bad, but you can make it pretty for yourself if you want, but you have to be super manipulative. It's not a very good lesson, but she's looking out for somebody she literally doesn't have to. She also warned Sansa that, like, if you ever do become queen, like, do not expect any, like, softness from Joffrey. Like, find that somewhere else. You know, like, because, yeah.
All right, Darren, and your time starts now.
All we have to think is how Cersei treats women. She treats them horribly. She constantly demeans them. Look at the Blackwater when all the women are scared, and then she's just talking bad about them. Then she goes into the throne room and she's going to commit suicide based off the same fears. So not only is she a hypocrite, but a massive sexist. She constantly hates being a woman, but she doesn't use it to her advantage like Alicent does. And Alicent crowns Helena, her queen, with her own crown. And imagine, I don't think Cersei would do that for Marcella. And that's all. That's all.
All right,
I don't
chat.
know. I think she might. She loves
Hold
Marcella
on, let
in
me
a
announce
completely
the
different
voting, and
way.
then you could say your little treasonous shit. All right,
It's not
chat. Time to
treasonous, it's my
vote. Time to
perspective.
vote. Hold on. Which of these two is a girl's girl? Put a foot for Alicent. Put a wine glass for Cersei. Go ahead, Tara.
I was just saying, I mean, I think she loves Marcella in a completely different way. She gets so enraged to the idea of her being sold off. I don't think that it's not too crazy for me to think if Marcella was queen, she wouldn't just give her the crown. She would. She loves her kids in a different way.
Tyrion even says he thinks that Cersei might crown
Yeah.
Marcella. Like that's canon in the text. I will also say Cersei manages to hold on to a female friend. Alicent has none. Cersei has at least one.
Yeah, she has
abuses
the
scum.
best female friend. And even
She's
before
like,
then, she's not just nice to the girls that she has to be nice to. She tries. I mean, she's a bitch, but she tries to like be real. She's the kind of friend that'll talk shit to you, but also tell you like you look ugly in that dress. You need to change. Sorry.
she
All
threatens
right.
Panamera
So
the rest of the day.
overwhelmingly, Alicent. Yay! Now Alicent and Cersei are tied, 5 points each.
I did not know we were ahead.
All right. So next question, chat.
How did Alicent win that? She literally married her dad's best. I mean, her
Just
best
look in
friend's
the
dad.
chat. I don't care.
I know, but I'm just
In the hands of the
questioning the
voters.
chat.
Wait,
I
there
don't
was a
get
funny.
it.
And you know, the fact that he mentioned, oh, she has women tortured. Well, maybe she's just treating them like any person who she would have tortured. Did you think about that?
Yeah.
Women are
All right.
people. They deserve to get tortured sometimes
It's
too.
not about what's in between their legs. It's about what's in their minds. Who are you
That's
working
one
for?
side of it. Next.
Who's paying you?
Next question. Who is better in times of war? Specifically, who would be more useful to the long night? Cersei or Alicent?
Oh, come
So I think it's y'all's time to go first. Cersei's team. Tinfoil, I'm picking you. All right. So once again, chat, the question is, who is better in times of war? Who would be more useful to the long night? And your time starts now.
I am so thankful you put the long night portion in this question because this is unambiguously Cersei. We need weapons of fire. Alicent, as you pointed out, kills all the fucking dragons. Cersei, even in the absence of dragons, which is Alicent's fault apparently, is preparing wildfire. Our closest proxy for dealing with, closest proxy for dragonfire in a post-dragon era. Cersei is preparing for war. She, in fact, exerts the exact same preparation for war as Tyrion ends up doing, which is just building wildfire stashes to fight off Stannis. Cersei is a proven wartime leader. Alicent is averse to war and averse to the presence of dragons. The best check we have, possibly, against the others.
And time. All right, Dayron. Your time starts now.
We saw what Cersei did in the show. She did not send any support up north to help Dany and Jon fight the others. She instead uses the opportunity to gain strength to beat Dany, the person that's going to try and save the world. And during the war effort in the books, so badly, Tywin has to send Tyrion to be in charge. The person he does not like, he hates for killing his wife. That's it.
That's all you need.
I like that comment by Ashley, by the way. Not a point, just saying.
What's the
Sometimes
comment?
the chat is hilarious. That Cersei would kill blood and cheese.
Whose turn is it now?
Westeros Terrace.
Okay. And your time starts now.
Okay, so who is better in times of war? Maybe the person who's lived through multiple wars, multiple kings. it seems like Alicent sits around in a castle. Cersei actually takes action. Yes, she did not send up reinforcements up north because she purposefully intended for the White Walkers to kill her enemies for her. That was intentional. That was a strategic move. That wasn't just neglect. Again, like Tinfoil said, she has been developing all these crazy weapons. And also, the dragon thing, if Alicent really is the one that's victorious by killing all the dragons, well, that gets rid of the main weapons that we have against the Long Night. Cersei also proved, if we're going just by the show, which is all we have for the later part of the story, Cersei did raise the bigger army than Alicent. Alicent could only raise about half the realm, and it wasn't even really Alicent raising that either. It was her son.
All right. And my time starts now. So Alicent has 4 kids with 4 dragons, so that's double what Daenerys had for the Long Night. So Alicent's definitely more useful to the Long Night, just that. But I have more points. Alicent is the type of virtuous woman that they write songs about. These songs are important because they play in the minds of soldiers as they die. They have to believe that they died for a worthy cause. And a lot of men see Alicent as its Madonna, like Kristen Cole, example A, a worthy cause to die for. Symbols like Alicent make men happy to die. So I disagree. Alicent could definitely raise more troops than Cersei just with her image. Alicent would rally many men to fight in the Long Night, as well as those dragons. And show Cersei didn't send anyone to the Long Night. And I believe book Cersei would do the same damn thing. So Cersei is horrible to have in times of war. And Alicent is the better queen in times of war.
Okay, my turn.
And your time starts now.
She literally didn't raise the army, though. I mean, if she could, she would have. Also, half of the country literally hates Alicent, so I don't think they would fight for her. And also, I think it's really questionable to say she would even help in the Long Night because she would see that as a Stark problem, just like the Lannisters saw that as a Stark problem. Even when there was like that whole jar situation, they were like, okay, whatever, have what's in our dungeons. We're not helping you because they don't care. They think of them, the Starks, as like, you're deal with your own shit. We're not helping you. And I think that it's kind of crazy to think that now that Starks are literally going to fight for Rhaenyra because which Stark has broken an oath and all that stuff. Why would Alicent help them? I don't know if she would if the Long Night happened. Then I don't think she would. She would just say, "Good for you. I hope y'all die there," just like Cersei did, because that's what a good leader would probably assume. Like, okay, good for you. Go fight. Get distracted in something else. I'm gonna rule the kingdom over here, and that's what Cersei did. And again, like she has the wildfire weapons and also other points I forgot about.
And time. Darren, do you have a rebuttal?
I do, but not about that. I'll wait for it to start.
And the time starts now.
The wildfire idea. Cersei's idea was to shoot wildfire from inside the city, which would obviously blow up everybody in the city and spread it throughout the entire city. Tyrion finds out this, he puts a stop to it, and he actually uses a good idea, which is putting them in boats and putting up the chain, which destroys most of Stannis' fleet. And she takes the king away from the battle, which makes the Gold Cloaks run away because they see the king fleeing. She pretty much almost cost her team the battle at the Blackwater before Tywin and the Tyrells came in and saved them because she got lucky. That's it.
That's all you need. Do you guys have whose turn is it on y'all's team?
I think everybody went.
Everyone went? Okay. Time to vote, chat. Who is better in times of war? Specifically, who would be better in the biggest war ever, the Long Night? Who would be more useful to the Long Night? A foot for Alicent and a wine glass for Cersei.
I know, right? Westeros and Chill is freaking nailing this.
Yeah.
I mean,
going
like,
off show canon,
she came
having
prepared.
Cersei on the throne was not incompatible with beating the others.
Wait, the doctor, okay. 3, 4, 5.
You can't vote for both of them, Ash.
I have no idea who's winning.
Yeah, tell.
Me neither. So far, maybe it's a tie. No, maybe
A
Alicent.
tie? No way.
Maybe Alicent's winning. I don't know. I don't know.
Allison's definitely winning. But some people vote so late. Ash is the worst. He's voting 75. All right, guys. You already know what it is. It's the feet. It's the
Flip
feet.
the coin.
Allison gets this one. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
there's one
yeah.
more wine glass,
Oh, yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah. Even the wine glass did nothing. It did nothing.
It
Literary
made me feel better.
The
paradox.
library had already voted.
Literary
You won't be
paradox
White
is really
Walkers.
funny, guys. I've been watching you in the chat. You're funny. Okay, next question. Who is more relatable to the modern audience? Who is more relatable to the modern audience? Whose team's turn is it?
I think it's ours.
All right, you want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Once again, chat, who is more relatable to the modern audience? And the time starts now.
Alicent's a family woman. Everything she does is to defend her family, who she thinks Rhaenyra and Daemon are going to kill. She fights for them, even though Rhaenyra is her best friend, and she still has to fight up against her. That's relatable to do something that you don't always want to do, but you have to do it. And Alicent has anxiety problems, as is shown in the show, and she fights through that too. Relatable for anybody that has anxiety, anybody that goes through tough times and fights through it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's all you need, baby. That's all you need. Loser team? Okay.
I feel like the moderator needs to stop calling us that.
Yeah, we need an impartial judge on this.
It wouldn't have looked good with 7 people on
I
the
was
screen.
more impartial than this, right? Like when I did it, I was a little bit more. I hope so.
Right.
you're-
Well, we need just a judge who's not on one of the teams.
Hey, we're down one now.
I haven't had to tie break anything yet. The chat is so good. The chat is the best
Stop
judge.
calling us losers, though.
No, I gotta tell the truth though. All right. Westeros and chill. Who is more relatable to the modern audience? Time starts now.
Well, the modern audience is moving away from religion. So that's a point against Alicent. Cersei embodies everything it means to be a modern woman, which is choosing your sexual partners, being sexually open, also, wanting to have your own power apart from men, not wanting to be sold off, getting revenge on your husband who cheats on you and beats you. Like, honestly, dude, he
Literally
smacked
raped
her
her.
around. What?
Literally raped her. She describes it.
Right. That too. It's literally marital rape, and she got her revenge on him. That's a very modern idea. Back in the day, the idea was a woman should shut her mouth and do what's expected of her, and that's everything Alicent does. Alicent embodies the old way of doing things of when women were property and women were inferior to men. And Cersei really shows us that that's never been the case.
This is unrelated, but I forgot to mention that. Oh, now I
No, go
forgot
ahead,
what
go
I
ahead.
was forgetting. I
Okay.
forgot the thing again.
It's unrelated, but
I forgot.
Cersei.
It was something about Cersei. I don't remember now, though.
Okay, my turn. Who is more relatable to a modern audience? Alicent is like many of us. We followed the rules. We didn't go to that party. We spent the night studying. We didn't choose that boy. We chose the more modest outfit. We paid our portion on time. We tipped 20%. And what do we have to show for it? Where's the prize that was promised to us? The bills got higher, the abuse continued, and the person didn't change. So that is relatable to us, is like how Alicent is. She does every single thing right, and she still gets the short end of the stick. That is very relatable. This is something that we can relate to. The world has wronged us, but do we stoop down and cave into our basal needs like Cersei does when the world wrongs us? No, we don't. We take the Alicent way out, because if we didn't, we would all be criminals. We would have looted that store. We would have killed that person. And we didn't do that. We took this Alicent way out. And that's what makes her more relatable to Cersei, is that we wouldn't do the stuff that Cersei does. Who's next? Tinfoil. And your time starts now.
The exact thing about Alicent not taking the steps, not responding to those down pressures is exactly what makes Cersei more relatable to a modern woman. The more modern sensibility, the feminist and post-feminist sensibility is not to allow for that kind of like trad wife will just live and let live and just allow the power dynamics to be as they are. The more modern interpretation would be to take action, to not put your son on the throne, put yourself on the throne. Moreover, Cersei has way more internal familial strife, which is all just very relatable to a modern woman. The expectations of the workaholic parent, the brotherly rivalries, all of it is more relatable, and Alicent's choices are ones that I find understandable but not relatable. And the whole tragedy of Alicent is that she is confined by these non-modern standards.
Time. Cool. Whose turn is it now?
It would have been Yogi's.
Oh, because it's our time to rebuttal. Do you have a rebuttal? I don't really have one. I said what I had to say. We already know.
Can I add some stuff?
No, I'm talking to my teammate.
I got
Well,
some.
like, you guys don't have a rebuttal, so maybe it's
No, I said that. Dayron didn't talk yet.
We got to allow for them to pull 50% more than us because they've got 30% less people.
Mine's literally just a sentence. So,
all right, you go ahead then.
Alicent's a mother that would do anything for her child. What mother can't relate to that, or what parent couldn't relate to doing whatever they wanted, whatever they could to defend their kid, who they fear is going to die? She fights so hard, even against her best friend, because she fears for their lives. And that's it.
Do you guys have a rebuttal?
Yeah, I would say that's also true for Cersei. She literally freaks out when Tommen is choking at his wedding because she fears the same thing is happening that happened to Joffrey. And I know that people are like, okay, I know her love is twisted, but I think she still loves them and she cares about them. The whole point of her life is now that they're here, I want them to survive.
Okay. Chat.
Is that complicated relationship with motherhood not very modern itself?
I mean, we have really weird. Have you guys heard the song? Maybe she's not such a heinous bitch after all. It's a really good.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, yeah.
I haven't heard it, but that's a badass title.
Chat, it's time to vote. Who is more relatable to the modern audience? A foot for Alicent, the wine glass for Cersei. And chat, please admire my wine holder because I need attention for it. It's on a train thing. It looks like it's suspended in midair.
It's so cool.
Okay. Thanks you. All right. Let me get this voting. Ian. Guess that it's a hard wine glass. Wine glass. Y'all better put some more fucking foots in the chat, okay? You stupid whores. How many times are you gonna vote, Ashley? So far, we have some damn Cersei. How are you guys gonna say she's more relatable to a modern audience? This is my channel.
I think that Alicent is so good just holds her back because modern audience is very detached from religion.
Do you guys push your friends down the well?
I know. Very relatable. That's why I'm gonna call the cops on you.
I'm not saying everything is relatable. I'm
or
saying
abuse your brother.
Y'all some brother fuckers.
Ew.
Y'all some. Oh, that's what relates to you.
Listen,
that's what relates to you is your brother.
Listen.
Related.
Thank you for telling us.
Cleopatra fucked her brother It's not like that.
Mhm.
Oh, so
It's just
now Maester Terra is telling us.
I'm just saying, it's just what those people
That's
did to keep the money and the power within themselves.
Maester
Oh, and we're
propaganda.
tied again, 6-6.
Come on.
All right, the next question, let me know if we should keep it. Who is the better helpmate to their king? It's different from being a wife. Because you could be a
What's
wife
a
to a plumber.
helpmate? Like,
A
That was awesome.
helpmate is like an old timey word for like, you're like kind of like a vice president. Like, you know how they say behind every great man is a great woman? It's like Obama. Like, Obama would not have been president if he wasn't married to Michelle because of her influence on him. You know, like that. That's like a helpmate. You're not just a wife that just fucks and makes eggs.
like how
Like,
Eleanor Roosevelt
you
basically ran the
actually,
country for a minute.
yeah, or
Yeah.
like you give suggestions like, hey, why don't you go to law school?
I mean, like, if you see it that, oh shit, I'm doing your work for you.
Fucking help me. Yeah, Ash, we're taking it back to the Old
Yep.
Testament. Help me. But I mean, it's different from a wife because you could be a wife to a plumber and you're a good wife to a plumber, but you wouldn't be a good wife to a king because it's just more responsibilities. Should we skip that question?
Maybe.
Tinfoil, I just love your face.
But I would say, like, I'm kind of thinking of a point that would be in your guys' favor, which is, like, if you go by the show, which is that Viserys didn't have diabetes, but just, like, that he was dying of leprosy, then she did do what Eleanor Roosevelt did, which is ran the country for a good while.
Except it wasn't her, it was the son. It was
Well,
really Aemon.
Aemon
let's
and
look on
her
her
family, yeah, like her side of the family, whoever.
Yeah.
Because
And
I don't
also,
know, yeah, she
Robert
doesn't
needed
take
Cersei
lead.
financially. Like
Right.
everything
He did.
immediately goes
He
to hell
did.
if Cersei's not there in Robert's
He needed her
marriage.
father.
No, dude,
Yeah, he does
how
have a
did
deep
he get
abiding
them
love
in
for their
so much
money.
debt? I do not understand what you were spending on. What were you eating? Were you eating gold flakes? Like, what happened to the money?
That didn't
Ashley
happen with
Wilson
Allison.
says, Cersei ain't wiping no old man's ass.
Yeah, no,
Allison
she
took care.
wasn't doing that. She's not gonna. No, she's a queen. She knows her place, and she's not a nurse. She's not a nurse. She's
So
probably
Fire
the.
Stark just killed me.
we're
Oh
gonna
my god,
skip it because y'all didn't fight hard enough for it. So
I'm
next
sorry.
question.
Yeah.
Next question is who makes life better for the High Lords? All right, so whose turn is it to go first?
I think it's theirs. Or
Their turn? All right, so there you go. Who makes life better for the High Lords? Now remember, we need a good ruler or a good person has attributes. If you're well balanced, you're going to appeal to the High Lords and the small folk. So it is a two-part question, but the first part is the High Lords. Hold on a second. I like moved everything. What am I going through over here? All right, Tara. Your
Oh, it's my
time.
turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Your time. Who makes life better for the High Lords? Time starts now.
I would say, especially in the beginning, it was most likely Cersei because she was literally helping rebuild the realm together. Because again, like they mentioned, you can't do that without Robert. Like Robert couldn't do that without Cersei and Lannister wealth, and they owe the crown owes them like 300 some grand or million. I don't fucking know, 300 something. Okay, dragons, 300 million dragons. I don't remember the number. It was 300 something dragons. And also, I think that they did keep the realm in stability for a really, really long time, which is very needed to give people a breather and to actually like build like all of the grain and reservoir that is now like able to be used was built in Robert and Cersei's rule or reign or whatever because like they needed that to have that for autumn and winter when shit's coming to they don't know that yet, but they need all of that and all like they don't have another
And
successful
time.
sorry, I was just saying they don't have another successful like yield of like the field or whatever, like they can't, it's not, it's burnt.
Dayron, you want to go?
I'll go.
All right. Your time starts. Well, first of all, who makes life better for the High Lords? Time starts now.
Well, Cersei brought back the Faith Militant, which killed tons of High Lords and imprisoned Marjorie Tyrell, a High Lord's daughter. And then she led she herself led to another High Lord, Ned Stark, being executed by her son, leading to a giant war which killed even more lords.
Okay,
Alicent
but
ruled with a
like
small,
she didn't
Alicent
know that
ruled
was
with a
gonna
small
happen.
council.
That was not the plan. That was not her
Alicent,
plan.
Alicent ruled with a small council peacefully. The realm was filled with gold. Cersei was queen, and the realm was bankrupt due to Robert, but also I'm sure she bought plenty of nice dresses, whereas Alicent is more frugal.
Okay.
That's it.
Tinfoil, your time starts now.
Oh shit.
Who
Yeah,
makes life better for the High Lords?
I would say the leading the realm into a war is at the best a wash, and ultimately, I think Cersei trying to prevent the execution of Ned Stark was more in service of the peace than Alicent pushing for her sons on the throne. So ultimately, Cersei is more pushing for the peace that benefits the High Lords.
She literally offers Ned to work with her. She's like, Ned, let's just team up because let's avoid bloodshed. Haven't you seen enough war? You've fought like a bunch of wars in your time, Ned. Can we just fucking chill? And he's like, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, in fact, it was Ned who was being all hostile.
He was
She
like,
was
no,
trying
I
to
think you
make
should
peace.
run away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's time.
Thank you, team. I was not prepared.
It's all good. We got you.
So who makes life better for the High Lords? I just got one word: patriarchy, 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 baby. We know that patriarchy benefits the High Lords. I'm not going to go into that. You guys are smart. And who upholds the patriarchy? That's going to be Alicent, okay? Every High Lord in Westeros feels comfortable with Alicent because she's not questioning their position. If Rhaenyra becomes queen, every High Lord is trembling in his boots because, like, oh, now my wife, now my daughter is going to rise against me. So that is big trouble for High Lords. And even the women married to them, they're living a cushy life. Like, my husband's rich. I don't have to brush my own hair. I don't have to make my own food. I don't have to do anything because my husband fought in a war because of my husband's labor or whatever. So you're fucking shit up for them. Some women like a soft life. Women don't want to do shit. They don't want to fight. They don't want to do any of that shit. They're high ladies. And anyone who disrupts people brushing their hair, people bringing in their milk, it sucks. Alicent's better for the High Lords. And now we have Westeros and Chill for the rebuttal. And your time starts now.
So Cersei's better for the High Lords because, I mean, there was 15 years in between wars of peace. That was a great time for the realm where literally all the High Lords were just eating and drinking and fucking and going to jousts and shit. So that there's one thing she did. She also prioritizes the High Lords way ahead of the small folk. She makes life better for them versus, sometimes at the expense of those beneath them. But she makes it better because she provides them with and since the end of the rebellion, she has provided them with stability. She is the queen. And Alicent has been, a source of instability for the realm since she became queen and had a kid. So for me, instability is better for the High Lord, or is not better for the High Lords. Instability is.
No, yeah, you're right because that episode was literally about how that was when the realm was divided.
Daron, do you have a rebuttal? I don't.
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Talking about children, the whole War of the Five Kings, which will probably be deadlier by the time it ends, because it still hasn't ended. It will be deadlier. Cersei started it all because she wanted to have incest babies with her brother and not with Robert. That was the whole start of the war, which killed so many High Lords, which killed so many peasants, is continuing to kill people. With young Griff coming, he's going to march to the city. The Tyrells and the High Lords are going to pick the right side.
I don't really have a point, but I just have to defend her in terms of not wanting to have kids with Robert. I wouldn't want to have kids with Robert if my husband, the king, went to their brother's wedding and had sex with somebody in that wedding bed. I would be like, yeah, no, we're not
Okay,
having
okay,
kids.
that's a point. That's not.
How is that a
All right,
point?
chat. All right, chat. Let's
I'm just
vote.
defending her. That's
Let's.
that's not adding to the question. This has nothing to do with Lord's
Okay.
life.
But still,
making
chat. All right,
better.
let's vote. So, who makes life better for the High Lords? A foot for Alicent and a wine glass for Cersei. All right. So far, we have Nikki leading with a foot because Nikki has a big brain, not a small one. Tara with a foot. Literary with the wine glass. Ashley, Michael, Doctor. Look at these smart people. Guess not so smart. All right. Come on, guys. Give me some time for some more votes. So far, we have 5 for Alicent, 2 for Cersei. Wow. Cersei sucks.
Alicent fucking sucks. Alicent's lame. Cersei's way more interesting. There's my argument.
Honestly,
wine
Cersei is
and a
so
wine
much more
glass.
interesting. I love reading her chapters.
A possum plays.
This is just something I'd never have considered unless I read that. I would never have come up with that conclusion.
But you like her because of the train wreck.
Yeah, but so is the other one. They're train wrecks in different ways. Everybody in A Song of Ice and Fire is flawed in a different way. We're just arguing which one's more
True.
fun to watch.
Yeah. A possum. Sorry, Westeros. A possum play said Super Bowl got nothing on this matchup. That is a big compliment, man.
Thank you.
All right. So obviously, let me see. The doctor says, is it just me or is this moderator the most unbiased there has ever been? It's not just you. I try. Recount that, Jim says. What do you mean recount it? It's feet. I have 6 feet. I have 3 wine glasses. Tara says 7-4. Oh, because there's 2 more that came, Jim and Princess. Yeah. See, Tara, we're on the same. Daron out here being the only male. No. Cersei is more fun. She has no chill. I'm Swedish. I don't do Super Bowl well. Yeah.
Yeah, she really has no chill. And I think that she knows she's queen. She for some of it, she uses it in the most fun way. I would never have done that. I'm like, okay.
All right. And so now we have 2 more questions left, everyone, in case everyone's wondering, how much time do we have? Just 2 more questions. We're wrapping up here. Oh, was someone saying something?
I was asking what the score was.
Huh? The score, I had 7-4.
No, I mean overall.
Overall, we're tied 6-6, but now because of this feet avalanche, we're 7-6.
All right, so we got to win both of the next 2.
Alicent.
Oh,
See how it goes.
We got to
I'm
win.
pretty happy about
Cersei
where
is
we're
better
at
for
so
the
far.
small
Though.
folk.
Cersei is definitely better for the small folk. Cersei didn't. Yeah, sorry. We can start when we start.
I think
You
it's
go
y'all's
first,
turn. There you go. All right, so here we go. The question is, who makes life better for the small folk? Once again, chat. Who makes life better for the small folk? Tara, your time starts now.
For the longest time, Cersei was a symbol of stability for them because they literally right after the war ended, Cersei her family was instrumental in rebuilding the realm, and Tywin was instrumental in, and his image was already so good. People were expecting a lot from their daughter, and she also gave the realm allegedly 2 heirs and a daughter, allegedly, and if Ned had agreed to Cersei's terms, the realm would have continued to stay in relative stability for a long time because I do not think that Stannis or Renly would have been able to rally that much support if Ned was like, I'm not doing this. They would have been like, okay, fine, let's not have enough war, and the other team wouldn't have had enough support, and the realm would have continued to be in a stability. Morally, is that the best? I'm not going to argue that, but if things went that way, less bloodshed, less fuckery. But unfortunately, Ned was beheaded. Again, not by Cersei's
Man,
decision or
that's
choice. She
fine.
was trying to avoid that because she knew what the cost of war was because she had lived through many of them.
All right, Dayron. Who makes life better for the small folk? Starting now.
Well, let's see. Let's look at who treats the small folk better and what the small folk think of them. Alicent and Helena were liked by the small folk. Look at Cersei during the riots that Joffrey caused. How she talked about the peasants. How she treats the peasants she sees them as lesser. She treats them like lesser. She always talks to them about lesser. And talking about like, oh, if Ned decided to join, then Cersei wouldn't have caused that war. It's a war she started. And same with Alicent. You could argue that if Rhaenyra accepted her terms, then there would be no war.
Amazing.
But Rhaenyra was there, so she would have to accept Rhaenyra's terms legally.
Well, Alicent sent terms to
Whose turn is it?
Rhaenyra.
Westeros. All right. Who makes life better for the small folk? Time starts now.
So generally what's best for the small folk is to avoid war. And I have to say, Cersei does everything in her power to avoid war at all times. And Alicent does not. Alicent steers the people right into one of the most bloodiest wars in history, one of the most devastating things to the realm. So I would have to say that Cersei is better for the small folk in that way, where she's not running the realm into war, civil war, as a matter of fact. That's my 10.
All right. You don't need all the time. All right. Funny comment here. Opossum Place says, to be frank, the peasants are freaks. And the doctor says, peasants are kind of dramatic. Like, why do you need food? Like, always asking for shit.
I don't remember whose chapter this was in, but maybe it was Davos. But one of the people in George's world says, like, all the all the peasants want is good rain, good crop, and to be fucking left alone. That's all they want.
Jorah.
And Cersei, for the most part, tries to make that happen. Jorah. Okay, there you go.
It was Jorah talking to Danny.
That's what it was.
Okay, my turn. So the thing that the small folks are into is religion. And we know through various texts throughout our world that religion pacifies the masses. And that's what Alicent represents, and that's what Alicent gives to the people. When you're sitting there suffering and your grains aren't coming in and you've had 3 children die in the crib in a row, like the only thing that makes life worth living, the only reason you don't commit suicide is because you believe in the gods. Now, you can have your opinion on whether the gods are real or whether it's good to have religion, but it doesn't nullify the fact that religion is an opiate for the masses. It fucking works. And that's why Alicent is better for the small folks, because, hello, high towers control the faith. Hello, she does things by the book. And which book is that? The faith. So if there's a small folk that's worried about something, she can say, hey, the mother will help you, the smith will help you, the warrior will help you. She has so many things to offer them, which Cersei has only blood to offer them. Moide. Tinfoil Maester. Who makes life better for the small folk? Your time starts now.
Cersei is better for the small folk for the exact same reasons why she lost better for the High Lords, because she empowers the Sparrows. Just as Nettles pointed out, religion is the opiate of the masses. It is a form of comfort and power for the small folk, and there is no one populist action greater than the arming of the Faith Militant. They are a populist movement in bare feet and rough spun clothes, and Cersei gives them arms and food and power. If arming the High Sparrows and the Faith Militant is bad for the High Lords because it endangers them and gives power to the small folk, then it has to be conversely true that Cersei is better for the small folk because arming the Faith Militant empowers the faith, empowers the small folk, gives arms and power to a populist movement of the people.
And that's your time. Daron, do you want a rebuttal? Wait, no, this is your, yeah. Here you go.
Yeah, I'll do just real quick.
And your time starts now.
The Faith Militant is different than just following the Faith of the Seven. It's a extremist organization. So it might be good for the people that follow the Faith of the Seven, but it's not good for the people that follow R'hllor, that follow the old gods, that follow the drowned gods, that don't follow any gods, or for women. So it's not good for them, just because it's good for the Faith of the Seven followers, which is the Andals. It's not good for anybody else, because it could lead to a religious war with the Ironborn in the north.
Could, but hasn't.
I just wanted to add something about Alicent.
Quick.
Okay. I would say that in person, Alicent's kind of sketchy to the small folk too. I mean, she literally abuses her maid, or one of the maids gets abused by her son, and she's like, "Let me cover up that shit and blackmail this poor girl who's literally going through."
And you're using time. Westeros and Chill, is it your turn? You always trick me.
I already had my turn, but I did have a rebuttal. It's not good for the, like the Ironborn and the Northerners and all the people who don't follow the Seven Gods. I mean, neither is Alicent. In that case, that's definitely not a point against Cersei, because Alicent is the one who's going to be enforcing the Seven God shit all over the country, all over the Seven Kingdoms, even with people who don't believe that, who believe in the old gods and the drowned god. So definitely not a point for Alicent.
Opossum Glaze says, Tinfoil Maester, I'm crying at the chains. LMFAO. All right, chat, it's time to vote. Who makes life better for the small folk? Is it Cersei? Is it Alicent?
The one who leads a populist revolt that literally imprisons several High Lords and the Queen. 2 queens.
All right, so far we have a wine glass from Nikki. Nikki, you about to I'm about to boot you. Nikki and Jim. Possum litter. Wow, what's wrong with you people? You forgot it? You couldn't find the foot emoji? Find the foot emoji. Princess Yoda. Princess Yoda, you're still here? Princess Yoda has voted for Cersei the entire time.
That's because Cersei's the best.
It's neither. I'm picking feet. Skylar Nugent, hello. I love you. Skylar Nugent, you're new here. You get a free blowjob from Cersei. Hold on, let me. Oh, another wine glass. Dang it. We were almost tied. Bio Momo. Don't do this, guys.
Man, those sparrows really came through clutch for us.
Don't do this, guys. There's a better way.
Go, Cersei. Go, 49ers. Gold miners.
Says,
you know, Cersei, gold mines.
I can see.
I got it.
Beat those Chiefs. I just have to say that.
Let me see one. That's what I have. Fuck you guys.
And go Lakers too. Thank you, Ashley.
Cersei won this one. But now we're tied 7-7. And now we have one more question left.
It's a trial of 7. It's
okay. The last question, chat, is based on everything we've seen in the books and the shows, based on your headcanon and based on fan theories, who is the better queen? Whose turn is it? Who's to which team?
Ours.
Ours. You ready to go, Daron?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay. All right, chat. Once again, the last question. Based on everything we've seen in the books and shows, based on headcanon and fan theories, who is the better queen? Your time starts now.
Well, when Alicent helped rule the realm successfully, the same can't be said for Cersei. Alicent ruled for Viserys when he was bedridden on Milk of the Poppy for a good reason. And she was even during the dance, before the dance, she ruled good. And during the dance, she was a good advisor. Cersei wasn't even that. She was just a hindrance to her side. Even enemies wanted her to be in charge. That doesn't speak good for a leader when your opposing faction wants you to be in charge so you can mess things up. That's it. And she's Joffrey's
That's
mother. So
that is a good one. Is the internet working for everybody?
Yeah.
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 Right
Okay.
now.
Okay. Cool. Just making sure.
Okay, can
Who
I
wants to
go?
go first? Yeah. All right. Once
Okay.
again, who is the better queen? And your time starts now.
Okay, what makes up a good queen? Vision, um, adaptability, resilience, hard work, being able to change paths, and being able to work with people you don't really like to work with, curiosity, and leading by example. I feel like Cersei does all of these things. Even Sansa learns a lot from Cersei. Sure, she learns what not to do, but she does lead by example and teach people without even realizing it. So I feel like she's also very adaptable. She's able to change sides and work with people she doesn't like, even though she knows she has to. Like, she knows they're not like trustworthy. She works with them because she has to. Also, she's the one who comes up with the wildfire idea. Sure, it wasn't all fleshed out, but Tyrion got in there and fleshed it out. But it was her idea. Like, without that, Tyrion wouldn't have had much to hold out with. His whole plan was based on hers. So I don't know. I feel like she's pretty good queen. She does her part, and even before the book started, she was clearly influential in what was going on in the council because she had all these people
And
working for her. Sorry, like the Maester and all these other people she paid.
okay, who is the better queen? Well, it's definitely going to be Alicent. When you think about a queen, I know we've seen so many queens throughout our timeline that are fleshed out, but a queen is a job. It's not just like, oh, I'm married to this person. It's a job. You have to hold your head high. You do have to, you're not going to have a normal life. You're going to have to put the realm before yours. Maybe you don't want a kid, but you have to have a kid for the realm. It's a job. You have to do things that you don't want to do. If the realm has a good queen, like a good Queen Alicent, to look up to, someone who's virtuous and kind and fair, then the realm does better. Like I said, this is a job, not just like some like emotional like thing. So who shows up, clocks in, and does their job? It's going to be Alicent, because Alicent does things that she doesn't want to do. Like Ash Wilson has been saying in the chat, she fucks a leper, okay, because it's her job. She puts the job before anything going on emotionally, and that's my time. Westeros and Chill, you ready? Or should I pick on tinfoil?
I'm good.
All right. Your time starts now.
So when you say queen, what sounds more natural? Queen Alicent or Queen Cersei? Queen Cersei, because she's the more iconic character. When we're looking at who's the better queen, we're looking at who stands out more, who is more memorable, who's more iconic, who's more, just a better character all around. And I think it's Cersei. Queen Cersei is the better queen and the better character because she is like fucking great character, Lady Macbeth. In the show, Alicent is mousy, and in the book, she's a one-dimensional stepmother. So I think Cersei's the better queen. She has so much more juice to her character, so much more story to tell, so much more conflict, and I think it's more sophisticated.
And her decisions and her stories are very clearly hers, whereas Alicent's, you can trace her decisions back to someone else's idea.
Damon, do you want to do the rebuttal?
Sure.
Okay. Time starts now.
All with Cersei, she doesn't inspire loyalty either. All that the men follow Tywin, the women follow Tywin, and when Tywin's gone, They
They're
leave.
gone.
They abandon her. They're gone. And as soon as they're gone, she makes a mess of things. She builds a navy with money they don't have. Orain Waters comes in. She's like, oh, he looks like Rhaegar, my first crush. She gives him all the ships, all the power. He runs circles around her, takes the ships away. Then she brings back the Faith Militant to get Marjorie, and it ends up getting her. So she's an interesting character, of course, but it's more about the train wreck that you can't take your eyes off of than it is about her being another Queen Alicent or Queen Daenerys.
All right, what do you guys have for their rebuttal?
Alicent is not very.
Hurry up.
But
All right.
Hurry up, Tara. Alicent's not very what? You better say quick.
Oh, I was just saying she's not very resilient and versatile. She's not able to pivot.
Okay. Tinfoil Maester, your time starts now.
As a character, Alicent is a bootleg Cersei. She has all of the same, oh, we got the money and we have King's Landing, but we don't have the true claim. That's over there on Dragonstone with our rival who has blood magic and fire and is coming to fuck us up. She is just sequel Cersei, inferior Cersei. She's less iconic as a character. She is also, as a queen, less effective and less good for us, the small folk, because Alicent steers us into war. Cersei fails to steal us away from war, but tries to steer us away from war, tries to steer us towards peace with Ned. Alicent knows that the right option is to not back up the Green Council and her son, and to instead support Rhaenyra's claim, and chooses not to. So both as a matter of trying to steer us away from war, Cersei is better. As an icon and a character, Cersei's better. Cersei cleans up both Queen in both their dimension and ours.
So you want a queen who has said with her mouth over and over again, I don't care about the small folk, I only care about me. Okay. Well, chat,
that is
it
the position
time
I
to
have taken
vote.
in this argument.
It is time to vote, chat. I'm going to go slowly because this is so important. Let's see. Let's make us all here. So it is time to vote. Who is the better queen? Is it the foot or is it the wine glass?
As people vote, I just would like to say it was nice meeting you guys, and I really liked hearing.
Wait.
Guys'
Oh my
points.
gosh, hold on. Sorry.
No.
It's me because the chat started. Okay, I'll start with Nikki is the first one. All right, keep going, Tara.
Oh, I was just saying it was nice meeting you guys, and I really liked hearing your guys' points, because I know, like, obviously neither of us actually believe one way or the other. It's just we're arguing for the sake of it. But it was interesting to hear your guys' points. And obviously, like, George made them as foils of each other, I think. And I think it's like payback for the Lannisters in High Towers for being so involved in Rhaenyra's like downfall, that now like their daughter is being accused of being impure, like not like a virgin, and Cersei is going through the same situation that Rhaenyra was in, where she has 3 bastards, and people are like, it's the hair. It's obvious. Come on, look at the hair.
Yeah, y'all are great, but I always thought of Alicent more of a Catelyn than a Cersei.
I can say both. Honestly, all the mothers have a lot in common in A Song of Ice and Fire, I would say. Even Jamie compares Cersei and Catelyn, so I could see that too. Sorry.
I have so much Alicent is the Catelyn, like tinfoil. Like Alicent is literally an anagram of Catelyn. They share the same copper braid, green dress look. They both father the son who's the rebel to the blonde queen with the 3 bastards, including Joffrey by the Golden Knight. Like there's a fair amount of parallels between both sets of moms.
Oh, if you think about it, that then that would be similar to the eye situation would be similar to the wolf situation.
Yeah, Rhaenyra has 3 bastards, and both of them have one that's named Joffrey. So.
By a Golden Knight whose younger brother is a twisted like vizier.
This honestly, George is so good, and he like left all these little clues for us. If I was rereading A Song of Ice and Fire, there's so many references to Rhaenyra and Aegon II. I didn't expect, and it's like it's in the first book. It's so early too.
Should I?
Who did it? Who won? Who won?
Beat. Alicent
Aw.
won that one, which broke the tie.
Boo!
Hey,
have
we were
Alicent
pretty
8,
close. We were like
Cersei
tied
7.
up before then.
Alicent 8,
7-8.
Cersei 7. That was crazy.
Second,
That was
I
way
chat,
closer
you
than
let
I
me
thought it would
know.
be.
Yeah,
Y'all know it.
same. I wasn't sure if it would be that close, but hey, I feel pretty good about that.
Chat,
Yeah.
y'all let this get too close. Y'all gave too many to Cersei, first of all. What's wrong with you guys?
It's not their fault. We had more iconic looks from Cersei. I think if we had gotten the wedding look in the show, you guys would have that to talk about too. Because I saw like the pictures of the scene that was cut where Alicent wore that awful or beautiful thingy, the white whatever you call the headpiece.
You know,
cut so
I have
much.
my concerns about them cutting all the things that they did cut in the first season and are going to cut in the next season because it's only going to be 8 episodes long, and I don't like that.
I also don't.
for what?
Yeah.
I'm still praying we see Daron. Just saying.
I mean, they
Yeah,
said
me
that he
too.
was at Hightower. Someone from the main thing announced it on one of the chats or something. They said he's at Hightower. He's going to be a part of the thing.
I was more
Ashley
talking about
says
like
I
season
gave-
2.
Ashley says I gave 1 round to the kitty.
I'm beckoning the kitty.
What were you saying, Daron?
I hope we see Daron in season 2. That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
I know he's going to be
of course.
included, but there's like leaks or something that he's not going to be in season 2. But which is
That would be
worrying.
annoying. I feel
And
like
Nettles isn't going to be there. The leaks
Did
say too.
anyone have anything they wanted to add? Like if we glossed over anything, starting with all the questions of like who's a better friend, better mother, better wife, motivation, better story, better team, best dress. Anyone want to say anything? Or did someone on this panel change your mind about something?
I will say, when I signed up for this, I did think it was just going to be describing like a death match. And I
What do you
picked
mean?
Cersei because she killed Malara Heatherspoon, and as far as I know, Alicent hasn't personally killed anybody. So I might, if I had known what the prompts were, not have picked Cersei, but I feel like I did my high school debate team proud. And defending the team defending the side of the resolution that I wasn't necessarily on all the time.
honestly, I wouldn't be on the side where I get to complain about both these bitches.
Isn't that the truth?
Like
of
they're
it?
not perfect, but I like there's things to like about them. I'm gonna say that, but at the same time, oh my god, do both of their decisions frustrate me? And they center men too much in both of their thinking. Even when Cersei hates men, she centers men so much in her thinking because she feels like because the world she grew up in is so surrounded and led by men, she has to be taken seriously and do certain things to be taken seriously by men. And it's just like you're so off. You're so off your rocker.
Squisher King says, I think Westeros and Chill wins MVP today.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I
She
just
can
saw that
prepare.
in the comment.
And that you're pretty.
Mwah.
Oh.
Mwah.
Everyone's saying is that you're pretty. Literary paracosm
Oh my god. Thank you.
says Cersei is defo the better mother. They both raise monsters, but at least Cersei loved hers. Girl, get out of here. I should have read that. before I
Alicent stepped in front of a dragon
Dude, if
for
we're
her.
going by the show, Alicent doesn't even like
Cersei
any
told a
single
king
person.
that she would fucking destroy him if he hit her child again. So that's a way. They didn't have dragons at that time, but that's a way of standing up to somebody that already had physically abused you and knew was more than capable of doing it again.
Does the chat have any last minute things they want to say about either of these, Cersei or Alicent? Before we go and do some man things, Super Bowl.
Woo!
Yes,
I
this strong
just
guys
wanna
and
watch
nerds who mostly
I
didn't
think they would be. I think they wouldn't be friends.
Right.
I feel like they would hate each other if they met. They would just
Cersei
fucking
and Alicent.
yeah. They're
I
so
only have to say,
different.
I only have to say, all of y'all are great. This is the first time I've ever talked about A Song of Ice and Fire. I've never gotten the opportunity to, because no one in my own life likes it. I'm about to go to a Super Bowl party. Maybe I'll talk about it there, but no one will probably listen. So at least y'all
Hang
listen
out
to
with
me.
us. Yeah, talk to
talk
us about
about
it. We're
George's
always open
Super
to
Bowl
hear.
references or football
Yeah.
references. Yeah, no, it was great meeting y'all. Great meeting Yogi too.
Also, gotta say, loved your chain. That was everything.
Thank you so much. I learned so much about the story while making it, about lines and cycles and snakes eating themselves.
That's amazing.
Speaking
Everyone
of
like
snakes,
and subscribe to Nettles.
here's a snake.
Oh,
Westeros, I'm always so glad when you bring the snakes.
You know what this snake's name is?
what is it?
Cersei.
I love it.
It's actually okay. So it's actually Cersei, second of her name, because the mom's name was Cersei because she was a gold snake.
That entire line needs to be called Cersei.
I know. It's just gonna be
she's
I'm
so
gonna keep it for the rest of my life and breed them and just name them Cersei continuously.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Cersei with the
very
green eyes,
watered
Cersei
eyes,
with the
too.
red eyes. Yeah, Cersei wants.
It's your Aegon.
Yes, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so
Nettles.
his
I love
mom
that
had-
she's gracing us with all these poses. She's like, I'll just pose for
Yeah.
the camera. I love it. So cute.
So this one's mom, I originally named her Cersei because she was gold with red eyes.
Aww.
But this one didn't get the red eyes. Not polymorphic.
You were awesome, Dayron, says Carl Karsnark.
Thank you, Carl.
Yeah, thank
All
you,
right,
Nettles.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah, thank you,
open.
Nettles.
I've reached out to like everyone here, obviously, in their DMs to ask them to be on this, but I do have many other debates coming up. I need slots filled. So Carl Karsnork, that's why I'm bothering you, because I was trying to find you to invite you on here. But if there's anyone in the chat that wants to be on here and they want to talk their shit, find me. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, I think is the easiest way. Instagram, I'm Nettles Waters. And then on Twitter, I'm Girl Nettles.
Oh yeah,
All right,
I'm only
finally.
available on TikTok. I don't even remember what my username is.
But-
It's T. Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, it's okay. I want everyone to kind of say where we could find you guys, but find me and specifically don't talk to me about the weather or some shit. If you're gonna write me, be like, I want to be on a damn debate. But find me and tell me about it, and I'll give you the schedule and sign you up. But Westeros and Chill, where can we find you?
So I haven't been on Twitter in a while, but you can find me on YouTube. I haven't done my YouTube videos in a while either. I haven't had a lot of time. Work's been insane the past like 8 months. So, but I'm hoping to do more in the future. I want to do like a reptile dragon video and also more drunk history.
Yes.
I love
you can
drunk
reach out to me
history.
on YouTube or on Twitter. I do occasionally check my Twitter if you want to message me.
Awesome. Dayron, just once again, where can everyone find you? What are your closing messages?
I would just say do not follow me. I'm not on social media that much. Follow everyone else here. They deserve it. They're great. Like and subscribe, all that.
Aw.
And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for doing it in your car. Like, I totally appreciate. You could have been like, no.
Yeah.
Right?
But
It was my vacation, but when the queen needs me, I answer.
yes,
That's so
a worthy
sweet.
night. A worthy night. All right, Tinfoil.
I am kind of inactive on Twitter as Tinfoil Maester. I also have a Tinfoil Maester YouTube that I'm planning to have a stream with Nettles this 15th. If you're still available for that.
Yes.
Where we'll be talking through the tinfoil iceberg, and I explain why everything is true. Oh
my God, I love it.
I am also most active on Reddit. The username Hi Pikachu, HY Pikachu, like hype Pikachu. And I talk about how things are references and everything's are space worms.
Love it.
And Mr. Tehn, what are your closing things? Where to find you?
I used to have Twitter, but I haven't. I deleted it. I'm only available on TikTok now publicly, but everywhere else I'm private. So if you guys want to find me, I haven't posted anything in like months, but the username is T_8246. But yeah, I haven't posted anything in a while. But I just talk about whatever my opinion is on whatever's happening. And if that bores you, you probably won't enjoy watching them. So yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you again. And please write it in all of the history books that Alicent is the better queen. We just took 2 hours. We just took 2 hours, over almost 3 hours. We used our scientific method. We took public opinion from the chat. We used the text. We used the show. And what did we come up with, guys?
George
Allison,
is an
Single
incredible
point there.
writer. I think we all said the same thing.
bye. Thank you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.
The Maester's rigged.